Yeah, I can hear him. Check, 1, 2. Hello. 1, 2. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to Friday Night Football, brought to you by Champion and the Agnini Family Dental Countdown to Kickoff. My name is Tim Conti. I am up here high in the press box once again at Bryant Stadium and Bill Castle Field on a beautiful end of September evening. It's looking good weather-wise, so the clouds I just saw on the radar are moving past, and a little bit of humidity, but I think we should have a good contest. As you notice, Jeff Goddard is not alongside me. He's en route. As you would imagine, sometimes that Friday I-4 traffic, he's fighting that battle right now, and hopefully he'll be joining us shortly. But we'll try to kind of set the table for you here as the 4-1 Dreadnots, the home team, come in looking to make it 5-1, of course, against this very tough and stingy Yellow Jacket ball club that, of course, the Lakeland Dreadnots have had their troubles with, and we can look as recently as last year to see that. But they come in at 3-1 this year, very scrappy. So, of course, last week we had the Hornets. This week we have the Yellow Jackets. So we're going to have to fight off a pesky group in Barto, bringing it back here to Polk County tonight. And, these games are always interesting. There's something about, I don't care if one team has a distinct advantage. It seems like either team will play up to the other's ability. And we've kind of waited for that close game. Unfortunately, the one game we lost obviously was a blowout in the wrong direction. And, of course, Lakeland most of the other time has really been in control with the other teams. This one just may be a different story. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it plays out. But if you like good, hard-nosed football here in Polk County, I think you've tuned into the right place. So, again, we thank all those folks, Agnini Family Dental, as you see the players warming up on the field and getting ready for action. And we are, hard to believe, Dreadnought fans, we are at the midway point of this season already. That's truly hard to believe. And, again, we've been privileged to be here at Bryant Stadium most of that time. We're going to follow up that one more time next week against George Jenkins. And then we're off on the road, but we'll enjoy the couple weeks we have here at home. So to talk a little bit about last week, again, it was a fantastic game for the Knots, certainly a blowout, you can call it in that category. And if we look to why that was, we can certainly look to the running backs, I think, first as a key. And if we see that sharing the workload was A.J. Davis, who had 4 carries, as you'd expect, 73 yards and a touchdown. Fantastic performance, as we'd expect from senior leadership. But maybe a name you wouldn't have expected, McKee Marbra had 2 carries for 69 yards, so and a touchdown. I'm sorry, 2 attempts. Fantastic averages as we look to our runners to lead the way. And they, as we know, our skilled position people are fantastic. You could plug several people into that backfield and have those kind of numbers to go behind Davis, who is, of course, an incredible runner and incredible talent. To follow that up, Holden Hotchkiss, of course, our quarterback, had a few big passing plays that we were waiting for, kind of that breakout, long down the field pass where he was able to connect and get his receivers on the run. He was able to do that a couple times, as you see, 3 attempts, 4 completions over the century mark with 104 yards. A fantastic, really, I'd say, probably his most consistent performance, certainly with the long ball, from the quarterback, Holden Hotchkiss. So you throw that formula of him passing well downfield and our runners sharing the workload, and I think you had an incredible recipe there for a huge victory last week, and that is, in fact, what we were able to see. So also an interesting one of our players that now has taken some kind of the double duty role, really, has been James Robinson. So always a threat, right, in the receiver position. You'd expect that, and he certainly came up with a big play, that one reception for 40 yards and a touchdown. But how about this? Flip it around. Let's go to the defensive side. The same player, Robinson, actually was very effective there. So dominant Dreadnought defense, I think it's pretty clear, except for, again, the one blip against Miami Carroll. If you throw that game out, the defense really has only allowed 3 points. Last week, 46 yards, 38 plays, and only 2 first downs and 0 points, of course, allowed by our defense. I mean, just a tremendous performance. And it's hard to get those shutouts. It's not as easy as one might think. And, of course, early in that game, we were able to put our second team and even some third team players in to get some play time. And they were able to hold off the Hornets as well and pitch that shutout last week in a fine overall performance. So we're looking ahead just a few moments again to tonight's game. Let's go ahead and maybe take a brief timeout. We'll come back and set the table for tonight and talk a little bit more about this Polk County matchup. Stay with us.
Agnini Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agnini Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
This is where Jeff would, of course, tell you a fabulous story of all his exploits with Agnini Family Dental and his firsthand experience with them. I don't have one of those stories for you this week, but Jeff and I are firm believers in the care that Agnini Family Dental and that family practice give you, and they have a lot of very unique techniques, and they're some of the leaders in what they do and technology and bringing dentistry to the forefront. So we, again, couldn't be doing this without our fine sponsors, and they've stepped up in a big way, and we appreciate them very much. So as we said, the weather looks fantastic tonight. I think we're going to have a good, as you see, ski. Look at Ski there. That's a great portrait. If you're into tradition at Lakeland High School, he took off the big hat that he normally wears, which is the Dreadnought ship. And all of you know Ski very well and what he means to Dreadnought football. So fantastic little thing there. And, this week against Barto, again, as I talked about, this is one of those rivalries, so to speak, where you really can just typically throw out all the cards and what the teams have done this year. But when you look at, they are fairly evenly matched, 3-1 again Barto and Dreadnoughts at 4-1. You would expect this game to have a lot of fireworks. And the Barto players, I was looking at social media a little bit today, and they said, hey, we're ready to lay a whipping to the Dreadnoughts. They fully believe they can come in here and take charge against the Knots, and they have that kind of confidence. Sometimes I think teams come in here very intimidated, and they're already behind the 8 ball, and just it's very difficult for them, even if they played their best, to come away with a victory. Barto's a little bit different. Their mindset and their mental thought process is that we can go in there and win. And so that's always a little bit dangerous to start things off. How will they do that? They're going to look to some key offensive players that they have that I think are some of the best in the county. So if we look at really the Barto impact players, you'll see that a couple of them, Timothy Jordan in particular, is the leading rusher in Polk County. And when you look at the talent around Polk County, Davis and amongst others, and to have that kind of weapon, Barto is a running team. They're not afraid to throw the ball. They have the capacity with their quarterback to do so. But they're going to try to pound that rock, and they're going to try to weaken that defense. And so we're going to see a huge battle, again, like we did in the trenches against Miami Carroll. The quarterback, Davin Williams for Barto, again, very capable player. He can spread the ball around if he needs to. And then, again, getting that ball into his skilled players, in particular, Timothy Jordan is going to be key. As I look around, we got the line. Cummings is one of their other impact players, number 15, who will be calling a lot tonight and watching. He flies all over the field, and he'll do a great job for Barto. And that's some of the players that the Dreadnoughts are going to have to contain on the offensive side of the ball. Can they even come close to holding the Barto Yellow Jackets to a shutout? I don't know. As you see right now in the field, a little bit of a special right now they are celebrating the 96 championship team here at Lakeland High School. So a fantastic opportunity. I was talking to Paul Hallier earlier, and he was saying that the group of guys are coming back to get on the field here at Bill Castle Field. You see Sid Kimbrell down there hosting them. You see some of the Ledger Press down there covering, and there's Justin, our athletic director. And just a great way to look back at the tradition and bring back this 96 team. There's Coach Castle in the mix of it. And hugging the guys. He doesn't forget these players. That's what's so special also about Bill Castle is once a Dreadnought, always a Dreadnought, always part of that team. And they got the snazzy T-shirts to go along with the celebration down there. As you can see, Coach Castle congratulating his players from that 96 state championship season. That's a fantastic tribute to those guys. And, we had homecoming last week officially, but that's another nice homecoming that they were able to take part in here. As we look at, again, I don't know if we lost a signal or can come back there, but we just talked about the impact players for Bartow and how particularly Timothy Jordan, containing him is going to be a tough thing to do. Who's going to do that? Well, the Lakeland defense, of course, is someone that we have to look at as far as our impact players, because they're going to have one of those games, folks, that is going to be kind of outer body for them. We're going to have a couple people really step up, or else Bartow and Jordan could run all over the field. Avery Edward, the defensive tackle, the name you may not expect up there. You may think it's just going to be all, linebackers or names that you've heard. But Avery Edwards may be a key to the defense and anchoring that, along with the linebackers. You would expect Kieran Spates, who, again, is one of those guys that just flies all over the field, as well as Danquarius Longs. We don't need just one player to kind of stand out tonight on defense. We need that unit to work truly as a defensive team. And we need really them to come to some serious head knocking on the offensive side, and I think come out strong and really let everyone know where that defensive line and in the trenches is going to be established early on. So very important thing to watch, and we'll track it as we go along. As you can see, again, the sky in back of us turning that nice kind of orange color with the clouds, Dreadnought orange, as again we have continued celebration for the 96 team. We'll look at the Lakeland offensive impact players. As you would expect, A.J. Davis has got to have one of those games that maybe even a little bit stronger than last week, carrying some of the load. They're going to look to him to lead the way. Holden Hotchkiss has been more consistent. Again, now not just in the 10 to 15, 20-yard passes. He seems to be more comfortable going downfield and getting his very talented receiving core in on the action. James Robinson, we'll see if he's going to play both ways again this evening. But he is certainly an impact player and can explode at any time and make a difference in the ball game. So we hope that he, in fact, will do that, and I know he will. We're looking for, again, the continued play of our offensive skilled positions to head up things. As we go to the keys to victory tonight, let's go ahead and look at 3 keys to a Dreadnought victory. And this first one is one that's easily said, but it's one that's probably going to be the most difficult thing for the Dreadnought defense tonight, is just contain the leading rusher in Polk County. Sounds simple, right? But when you look at, again, all the talent here that we have in Polk County and say that he, in fact, is the leading rusher, that's going to be a task. Again, they're going to continue to pound. They have a strong, big offensive line. And even if it doesn't look like it early, he's one of those slippery runners that will continue to find a seam here and there. 5 yards turns into 10 yards, 20 yards, and then he will break one big if you're not containing him on every play of the game. So something that the Knots are going to have to be very cautious about is containing Timothy Jordan, the first key to victory tonight. The second one is going to be hit some big pass plays. Last week was really the first time that we were able to exploit the field down, 20, 30 yards down, and that's where obviously the field of play opens up. You're talking man-to-man coverages and utilizing some height you have in some of our wide receivers. And I was talking again to Paul Hallier earlier, and we were talking about the penalties. And, it's a subjective thing, of course. Do, in fact, the refs look at the Dreadnoughts a little bit harder? When you see 1 week a group of refs come in and we have nearly 100 or more yards and penalties, and then the next week, we have 3 for 30 yards. Irregardless of what happens, what kind of officiating crew is, you have to be a disciplined ball team. I don't know that we can say, or Coach Castle would say, we put together a near-perfect game as far as being disciplined and keeping the penalties to a minimum. Some of those penalties, I think, as a coach, you don't mind, flying the ball if it's a hit that's, right near the sideline. But there's just too many of them with too many overall yards that we're a team of momentum. And a lot of times we're killing our own momentum and hurting ourselves by those penalties. And if you're a Dreadnought fan, I think you know what I mean. We seem to, once we get on a roll on offense, we have an incredible ability to turn things up. But I think that that's going to be key, again, as Jeff laid out for us tonight, is avoiding those penalties as much as we can. You can hear the Dreadnought band in the background. They are in their full dress tonight, and one of the best sounding bands I think I've heard in years. They come strong. Great drum corps. Drum corps has been coming out in the field and doing some special things. As you hear, Anchors Away, played by the Lakeland Dreadnought Marching Band. Spelling out the traditional LHS. Good opportunity for many of you that haven't seen the band to get a little glimpse. High tradition at Lakeland High School. A lot of these things have gone back decades, and the band has continued to do a good job in carrying those forward. And Barto again coming in at 3-1. They had an off week. Dreadnoughts coming in at 4-1 tonight, trying to make it 5-1. It really is, as I said earlier, it's hard to believe that we're already in the midway point of the season. So we want to enjoy these last couple games at home. Then we go on the road a little bit to Winter Haven for a tough matchup. And, of course, that Kathleen game away is going to be difficult as well. No matter, I don't care how the teams are doing, that's one of those games similar to tonight that however the teams fare during the course of the regular season, they're going to bring their best for that particular game. So let's go ahead and take it right now down for the national anthem. Lakeland High School Marching Band and the national anthem for the United States of America. There's not much better, prettier sound as we conclude or get close to concluding the Agnini Family Dental countdown to kickoff. The teams are still kind of waiting to take the field, and next step, of course, is the captains will come out and they'll do the coin toss. And just want to take a few minutes to just thank everyone big time for me and my family, those that have given an outpouring of support and prayer for us this week. I just want to tell you I greatly appreciate it, and it's something that goes deep into our heart. I'm just glad I serve a very wonderful God and thankful for all my friends and family. So just wanted to tell you that real quick before we get going with tonight's game. So again, the Lakeland High School Marching Band getting ready to kick things off. And this game against Barto is going to be a great one as you see your captains lining up. How about those uniforms? We had a great little contest last week and vote that we had with Champion in conjunction with them. We had a $25 gift certificate about what was your favorite uniform? What combination of everything that you've seen is the best? And not surprisingly, we had a couple forefront winners. One was the black on black, which you can't beat that, right? The black pants, the black jerseys, black helmet with the trims in orange, just something ominous looking about those uniforms. But tonight, as you see Robinson and Davis walking in the black pants with the camo, the gray and black camo jerseys, and they definitely got that military look. I mean, they could suit up and go out on the field right now, not the football field, the battlefield. And that's what it's going to be tonight, folks. I think it's going to be a battle out there as the Knots try to go again to 5-1 here at home against Bartow. They're going to take this one seriously. Coach Castle knows, and as we look to Bartow and the team and the principal, I think we have a graphic on the Bartow Yellow Jackets, maybe that Mike can throw up there. Bartow Senior High School, the principal again, Emmeline Clemens. The colors, of course, blue and orange. The mascot is the Yellow Jackets that we talked about. Class 7A, and the head coach, Jake McCrae, is going to have to lead his team and try to get this done against Coach Bill Castle's Knots. You can see Robinson there with his other captains, co-captains. Smile on his face. They're looking relaxed tonight, guys in the booth. Hope to see some good fireworks as we did last week. That's a lot. For me, it's I love to see, of course, when Lakeland puts on a show and they blow people out. But I think for the purist, I'd love to see both teams play at their best in just one of those crunchers where it maybe even comes down to the last moments of the ball game. This one has that potential, no question about it. And it's just one of those things to see how it unfolds. A lot of turnovers, of course, last week for the Hornets, which haunted them as well. I would throw that in as one of my keys to victory tonight. I think they are fairly evenly matched in overall skill as arm in arm the captains go out to the 50-yard line. So one of those difference makers can be, in fact, that one or two critical turnovers at the wrong – is there ever a right time for a turnover? But at just the wrong time and turn the momentum, I think certainly that could play into the hands of whoever is the benefactor of those turnovers, that's for sure. There you go, out in midfield. Spates, number 4, Robinson, Davis, and big number 99, Jaquan Lawrence out there. Let's see how tall that advantage that Robinson has of that height advantage as we get to flip a coin. That's that, again, that advantage you want to exploit down the field and get him, as we did last week, from goalpost to goalpost. There's the coin toss. Bartow has the opportunity to call it. Looks like Lakeland won the coin toss and is asking what they would like to do. They're going to say, as usual, we'll defer that. And this is the end zone we're going to defend. Knots won the coin toss. They declined. And kick off to the Bartow Yellow Jackets at the south end zone. So they'll be headed south to north. As we get set with the runway to victory. One of the top 30 seconds in all of high school sports around the country. Take off your jackets, it's game time, says the banner. Cute little quip by the cheerleaders. Thanks to the ROTC for all the work they go into setting that up, making it something special. Looks like Bartow's going to come out and sneak slowly ahead of the knot. Maybe a little bit of gamesmanship, guys. Right out of the gate, the Bartow Yellow Jackets sauntering in front of the runway to victory. That's what we talked about, right? This game's got a little mental edge to it. We'll see who can capture the physical. I would have just let him go. I would have hit the cannon and rolled the dice. There come your Dreadnots. So they also kind of started off with that gentlemanly walk out of the runway to victory and then picked up the pace as they hit halfway through the runway to victory. And on the sidelines they come as I get set to bring you some play-by-play action. I expect Jeff Goddard will be here shortly to join me. Unless the fate of I-4 gets him. So I don't know if Mackenzie McDonald's leg has recovered from last week. He must have had to go to some therapy. He kicked it more times than we can count. I'd like to thank Square One Burgers tonight for being tonight's press box sponsors. Those little sliders were fantastic. And oh my word, I have to say 2 words, banana pudding. Yeah, if we were getting off late, it's the crew's fault. They were down there with buckets of it, shove it in their face before the, we see what the priority is. Mackenzie McDonald set here at the 40. Back deep, number 18, Corey Rowe Jr. 2 men back to receive the ball. Welcome everyone once again to Friday Night Football, brought to you by Champion Sports. Everybody's set. And the ref signals to get this one underway. And here we go, foot to leather. Nice end over run kick, strong kick. 5 yards deep in the end zone. That'll come out to the 20. And we'll get this thing cooking. Mackenzie seemed to have matured in percentage-wise as far as how much he's kicking that in the end zone. If his leg's getting stronger, maybe all that practice last week. Yeah, we said Bartow's kind of a running team overall, but they're not afraid to throw it up as they have a single set wide receiver out to that far side. Split backfield, shotgun formation for the quarterback. Now they send Jeremy Henderson out. 3-step drop. They're going deep. How about that for some trickery on the first play? Way overthrown though. So maybe expect the unexpected for tonight. We say that sometimes, right? They're a running team and they're going to put up big yards on the ground, and the first thing they do is try to go deep. Well, I can tell you this. They've certainly watched the game film, and they've seen that there has been a few holes in the Lakeland secondary. And I would give it a shot, too. But that incompletion brings up a 2nd down 10 just underway here at Bryant Stadium. Barto and Lakeland. Man comes back behind the line. There's the first handoff of the night. Nice stop immediately at the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of a yard. Jeremy Henderson got the handoff. Called it loss of 2 yards now with the incompletion on 1st down, 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 12. It's a long 3rd and 11. Shotgun formation, spread field this time. Big tight end they have over there on that sideline. Huge guy. 4 yards deep, comes back. Getting a little pressure. He's going to have to cut underneath, throws it to a swing man, and short. Number 3, Jalen Miller, tried to come under it and throw his arms under it, but the pressure caused the quarterback to get rid of that a little bit earlier than he would have liked. The intended receiver, Miller, was unable to get his arms underneath it. Successful defensive start for the Knots. Kind of what Castle would draw up if you were to say, hey, we win the coin toss, let's throw it back to them. Quick 3 and out. Let's get the ball back near midfield. LJ Cummings set to punt this one back at the 5-yard line. Kind of a funny looking left-handed squibber. We get it. It's returnable. We have a few blockers at the 40. Nice cutback. Number 13 makes a good effort. Daquan Devine, who has been one of our big playmakers and has improved each week. We've talked about Daquan's speed, not necessarily fast in a long race, but that first 15, 20, 30 yards, he's got quickness, which means a lot in high school football as Branson Brown, number 1, comes out on the field to join Davis in the backfield as the fullback blocker. Robinson, a little confused, heads back out left. Strong eye Hotchkiss, first offensive snap of the night. First down 10, just outside the 36. Davis bulls his head, hard running near the 30-yard line, got maybe 29. Strong hard run on first down by Davis, and the good blocking by the offensive line. About 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Stacked right side, number 51 on the offensive line. A leak in the tight end. Zipperer, but handoff left side. Picks up another 3. He's got to get just shy of the 25 to pick up the first down. He's going to be a few yards short, maybe a yard and a half. Just underway here at Bryant Stadium. Clock says just over 10 minutes here as Hotchkiss comes back out from coach. Changing things up a little bit at the last minute, sends in Willie Baker, number 10, one of those other weapons to join Robinson, kind of that possession receiver with Baker. Handoff again to the big man. Got a little seam there. That's all he needs. Get him some head of steam. And Xavier Allen's going to exploit it and pick up the first down. Nice run, Xavier. I think it's a pretty good idea to use him sparingly. He seems to, if he gets a little rest, keep his knees protected. That's a big load to carry. Just use him in certain situations. I think he can be really effective again as Baker and Robinson go out far to the left side this time, spreading the field under center. Hotchkiss snaps, handoff Davis. Good penetration, but breaks 2 tackles. There is a flag back at around the 27 where holding would be probable. Oh, legal shift, I think, by the Knots is the call. So not a holding. One of those disciplined penalties that we spoke about earlier in the Agnini Family Dental pregame show. Some good broken tackles made by Davis that time, as the defense for the Yellow Jackets was actually in the backfield, but he broke 2 tackles and picked up 5 yards. However, the illegal shift before negated that, and Knots now are faced with a 1st and 15. They get the down back. Hotchkiss under center. Good fake. Rolls out. Looks for Robinson. Wide open. Gap closes, and he's not able to get under it. A little too much air that time by Hotchkiss. He had Robinson sprinting to the left front pylon. He got some help late from the defensive back that was covering Baker, but the ball thrown about 6-7 yards too far. Good shot. One of Jeff's keys to victory was connecting on those long balls, some big pass plays. That was an attempt at one there. 2nd down, 15 now. So we see some lightning off over Lake Parker in the distance. Baker in motion. Back handoff, delay, nice. Davis breaks 1 tackle, gets near the 20, picks up a few of those penalty yards back. JV football played Bartow last night and whooped them. Of course, when you have as many players as Lakeland, that JV squad is, again, near the mark of some of the regular teams. 42-8 was the score last night to bring their overall record to 3-0. The next JV football game will be next Thursday at Auburndale. 8:21 on the clock as I peer over. And on your screen there, as Dreadnots faced with a long 3rd down and 9 on their first offensive try. Can they keep it going here? Fade back. Hotchkiss has a man. Caught. 1st down. Dancing around at 10. Get down. Dangerous as he gets stood up, but Robinson makes a nice catch there past the 1st down marker to move the chains. Big 1st down early on in this contest. Deep in the red zone, ball tucked right inside the 10-yard line. Hotchkiss falls into position. Tight eye formation, handoff behind Branson Brown, trying to get a block, cut back, 5-4. Nice cut, touchdown! Davis with a fantastic move at the 3-yard line. Scampering, looked like a little mouse just running through the kitchen, waiting to get his cheese. He knew where to go, he knew where to place the feet. And Anthony Davis, as you see there, 6 foot, 202-pound talented running back, is the first to strike against these Yellow Jackets. Now it's on the board with the 7:43 mark. Kenzie McDonald, Micmac getting set for the first extra point of what we hope will be many tonight. Good looking kick, as the cannon will attest. And the Dreadnoughts lead 7-0 in the 1st quarter. We'll take a brief timeout. Stay with us here on Friday Night Football. We'll be right back.
I'm Doug Bernetti, and I've lived in this area most of my life. Just one look at the interstate says it all. More people mean more cars, and that means more accidents. It could happen to you. And when it does, you may not be ready. But at Bernetti, PA, we're ready. We have done this every day for over 20 years. We fight to recover compensation for our clients' car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages. Plus, we deal with the insurance companies so clients can get back on the road. Call 1-800-BERNETTI. We're ready.
To Bryant Stadium, as the first offensive touchdown put up by the Knots, really set up by the defense on the first try for Barto. They went a 3-and-out, and the Dreadnoughts pinned them, and they had to punt, which enabled Daquan Devine on the run back to bring it inside Barto territory. And then the Knots with a couple nice hard runs by Davis, a nice reception to Robinson to pick up the 1st down, and then Davis capped it off with a nice 4 or 5 yard touchdown run. End over end. Ooh, had to run up to get the ball at the 10. Good special teams coverage as he spins around at the 16-yard line. Really nowhere to run. Very good special teams coverage by the Knots, as they have continued to improve. And Robinson is, in fact, again, out there as a defender. Just getting enough time to get a swig of water and head back out. Hard not to put those ultra-talented people on your squad on either side as you look at the crowd in the press box. Decent showing tonight here at Bryant Stadium on a late September fall evening now into autumn. Three yards on the carry, right side of the line for Timothy Jordan. Haven't had an opportunity to see his running style yet. What I did see in that little burst there was just that. He has a quickness about him. And you better wrap him up early is all I can say. Deceptively picked up 5 yards on that 1st down, 2nd and 5, ball on the 24. Split field again, same handoff right side. This time the Knots get him after only a 1 or 2 maybe. Both teams seem to be under control early in this game. We have often seen in the past Not necessarily tempers overflaring, but we've seen jostling, let's say that, and haven't, as Davin Williams, the 6'4", 203-pound quarterback, is giving his backfield some instruction on a 3rd and 3. Shifting around. It's one of the longest I formations I've seen, but they hand off to the fullback up front, number 4, and he gets hammered. Look at that. Knots just wrestle him down. Chris Jones didn't have a chance. The fullback got wrapped up right when he got the ball, and there's one of those penalties that we cannot afford, which is a late flag well after the play. That's just some jawing. Didn't see anything physical. I think that was more of just a war of words that the ref happened to be in earshot and thought was unacceptable. After Knott's made a great play, they may just have hung around the ball carrier a little too long. And your parents told you nothing good ever happened after midnight? Well, nothing good probably happens when you stay too long around the guy you just tackled. And there we go, offsetting, baby, all right. That's what I was hoping for. That was one of those penalties that says, guys, don't do it again. Both of you were at fault. As we have the first quarter water break in play now, 5:59 remaining. Knott's up 7-0. We'll take a brief timeout and be right back here with you. Back at Bill Castle Field, home of champions, and one of those championship teams were honored here before the game got going. The 96 state championship squad got to be all called out by name and have a little celebration time with their coach, Bill Castle. Extremely fond memories. Again, Paul Hallier and I were talking about how I think he started around 94, 95 filming. And that's the time Emmett Reed came in 94 and did a couple little games by himself. High snap. Now it's going to be difficult. We got him swarming. Nice play, special teams. We'll have the ball outside the 15. Way to go, Knots. And how fast time flies from that 96 squad. From 95, I was again started doing the radio broadcast, so 21 years in now. And it went by fast, but we've had a lot of great moments here together at Bryant Stadium since that time. Well, I talked about kind of turnovers being a big factor, and that was the first big mistake by either squad, and the Bartow Yellow Jackets on a high snap forced the punter to run, tuck and run for his life, really, as he was getting bared down on at the 15. And Knott's come up with it on a 1st down and 10 inside the red zone. Strong I formation. Branson Brown blocking. Cut back outside. Davis grabbed a jersey from behind and picked up a half yard. Not to relive a bad memory, but just I'm still amazed, really, going back to that Miami Carroll game at what a discrepancy there was in the size and even some ability, flat out, of when you see these two evenly matched teams. I know Polk County has a lot of talent, going toe for toe, and then the dominance that they displayed makes you shake your head a little bit here as Hotchkiss. Davis flag flies early, though, as he kind of squirts under some blockers low and was able to pick up a few yards in the process, but we'll see what the flag is. Illegal formation, against the Knots. It's one of those I wish we had a replay. Didn't see what it was or why. Picky. Yeah, sometimes there's a show among the show on the field, and sometimes that comes in the form of the referees. He must be extremely Italian. He's got the arms moving, he's got the hips wagging as Hotchkiss rolls out, getting pressure. Hotchkiss looking to find some space, and he's not going to do it. He dropped at the 25. Hotchkiss was trying to roll out and find some of his receivers downfield, and Barto, one player in particular, came up and forced him back inside. And then a few of the other Bartow defenders got up with him. So what we were saying before the play now on the 3rd and 14 was you'll have to watch as if the camera focuses on the ump. He's got some moves. Let's say that. He's got some moves like Jagger. And then some, which are nothing like Jagger and are quite disturbing. But we'll go from there. 3rd and 18. Hotchkiss 5 yards deep, looking, man-to-man coverage, fires over the middle, could have been caught but a little bit high. Should have been brought in as it hit the hands of DeShazer coming over. I think that's DeShazer, number 7, Lorenz DeShazer. Boy, anytime it hits your hands like that, you got to bring those in. What to do on a 4th and 18? Are they bringing in, is that number 17 I see with my little eyes? Mackenzie McDonald for a, wow. He's been kicking a little bit better, but this is going to test him. Humana. Interesting decision, giving Mackenzie McDonald maybe a chance to put something on his highlight reel for college prospects. Don't see this a lot. Daquan Devine on to hold, and flag, is that delay a game? Well, that'll probably make the decision a punt rather than a field goal. Yeah. Well, mistakes, right? Taking too long. They just didn't snap the ball. Number 12 checks in. Corithius Stevens on the outside to block. Number 42 is going to be set back there to give hopefully a little bit of protection to McKenzie. Nice snap there. He's going to try to just pooch it and pin him inside the 10. Ball hits around the 8, takes a check up there just outside the 5. Nice job by Mackenzie McDonald, and number 24 for the Knots recovers Demetric McNair. As you see Robinson there on defense. As we showed you in the graphic early on, had that nice catch last week for 40 yards and also an interception for a touchdown. Not many players can say that in the same game on any level, much less the high school level. Still only a 1-score ball game here as we approach the 3-minute mark in the first quarter. Barto looking to retaliate and put some points on the board. There's number 11. Davin Williams drops back in the end zone, getting pressure in the end zone. He's going to be dropped. Safety. There we go. Tack on 2, baby. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Demetric McNair. Got some guns. Look at old Demetric. Calling for the ball, looking at it, doing the head shake, rub off the dust. We remind y'all that limitations don't matter to Demetric. He is, by all reports, 100% deaf. Meaning he cannot hear the cheers of the crowd of what he just did, so he has some players coming up right in his face mask, congratulating him. As you just heard me correctly, he cannot hear. And still a tremendous ball player for the Knots. Fantastic story. So that can't really obviously count as a turnover. It's a special defensive play. But two fairly obvious mistakes by the Barto squad tonight with the high snap and recovery from the Knots, or fourth down turnover rather, and then that little stint by the quarterback running back into the end zone and getting caught behind the line. That's going to go out of bounds. That's not going to fare well for Barto. Is on a free kick. It's not what you want to see. He's got all that time. Shanks one over about the 42-yard line. Interesting how they're going to do this, right? Because this, with a free kick, normally on a regular kickoff on a penalty like that, it would come out to the 35. But will they spot it from the point of, is he doing the ramba or the samba out there? He looks like he's getting ready to do. Nice job. I think you'll be seeing the ump at Dancing with the Stars in the upcoming season. It looked like he wanted to let loose with the hips. I'm just saying, it was close. Like it was just, he had a little bit of a side-to-side Ariana Grande thing going and then decided to stop. Hey, more power to him. If you can go around with a little song in your head and dance, you're always happy, right? 3 minutes and 11 seconds left. Knots now. First down and 10 after the safety. Davis, hard hit at the 45 and continues to fall forward as he often does and picks up an additional 3 yards. Nice job, Davis. That was a smack. Just shy of midfield now. Branson Brown checking out of the ball game. Chance for that Lakeland offense to get some mo. Up 9-0. There's the big man, Allen. Tell you what, they're gonna look to wear down the defense a little bit. It's kind of a little bit of what we thought Barto was going to try to do to Lakeland, but right now the tables have turned around. Allen, Davis in the back. 2 wide receivers out, Baker and Robinson. Checking off, looking side to side. Timeout called by Hotchkiss. Talking things over with Coach Bill Castle with 1:49 left in the first quarter. We'll take a brief timeout. Dreadnots lead 9-0. Stay with us.
From up here, most pre-owned vehicles look pretty similar, but that just isn't the case. Hi, I'm Benny Jr. with Barto Ford. Only at Barto Ford do we meticulously inspect every pre-owned vehicle that makes our lot. Because of our high sales volume, we're able to keep only the best. And let's face it, that's what you're looking for when you're looking for the best deal. A quality, premium, pre-owned vehicle. It's just another reason why at Barto Ford we say we're different and we prove it.
Join Coach Bill Castle in the Booster Club with the Booster Club meeting Monday night, October 3rd at 7:30 p.m. LHS Film Room. That is also known as the Locker Room. Come listen to Coach Castle talk about Dreadnought football, and you get to see all those back highlight fun things over and over again. You can play them 3 times if you want to see it. There may be some bloopers in there. I don't know. Most nights they have a guest speaker too. A lot of fun to get the behind the scenes from Coach Bill Castle. Hotchkiss on a 3rd down and 2. There's a flag that goes way up there. Man, it almost got eye shot with me up here in the press box. It's a nice toss by the ref there. The Knott runner was shy of the goal, or shy of the 1st down marker anyways. Barto coach is pointing like it is, in fact, on the Knotts. Here we go. Let's see. Do we have a Ramba or a... That's pretty clean. As the refs sort things out, Coach Castle's bringing in a completely different squad here for this, what's now going to be long 3rd down attempt. Five-yard variety, 3rd and 2 becomes 3rd and 7. Manageable. Holden Hotchkiss on a 3rd down and 7. What can he muster up here? Working out of the shotgun with the spread field. He's got talent all over the sides. He's going to go man-to-man, flip it over to Robinson, caught, and he takes a step backwards and gets wrapped up shy of the 50. He was trying to create some room near the sideline and just did a back dance. He's saying he had to kind of go down and get the ball, and it threw off his yaks yards after the catch. 4th down 7. And that will definitely be a punt by Mr. McDonald. No, actually, I say that, and then it's not looking like a punt right now, but I think that threw Bartow off. That threw all of us off. Bartow's like, whoa, wait, whoa. Hey, we aren't set for that. Let's call a timeout here and talk it over. So interesting call by Coach Castle on a under 30-second mark in the 1st quarter on a 4th and 6. Had all the appearances of going for it. We'll keep it right here as we get back under action quickly. Remember, this year Tempo, or the teacher-parent organization, is now PTP, Parent-Teacher Partnership, and they're offering a $1,000 scholarship for qualifying graduating seniors. But a family member must be a member of PTP to be eligible. Please pick up and turn in your membership form with payment to LHS Guidance Office or ask the PTP representative. PTP helps support academic awards, senior breakfast, naughty night, and more. So they ask for your support. And they decide to punt it, of course, as we expected. Line driver, that's going to go right into the chest of number 1, who's going to have a lot of time to return it. Special teams gets down there pretty quickly, but a nice banging return out to the 35, and that'll be the best starting position for the Yellow Jackets tonight. That was an odd little series right there. Lined up like we were going for it, and the punt seemed rushed. I don't think it got more than 6-7 feet off the ground. And then right into the chest of number 1, Brandon Witten. And so he had the time to head to the right side of the field and pick up a nice 10 or 12 yards on the return. As Davin Williams set to the shotgun. Number 8 split out wide, Jeremy Henderson. 3 wide receivers to this near side. Number 3, Jalen Miller. And 2 of his compadres. Handoff, Jordan, who still hasn't really got things going. A little bit of a late hit, but no flag on the play. Jordan stopped after a 2-yard gain. That'll be the last play of the 1st quarter, as the whistle will blow momentarily. And it does. They'll switch sides. They don't have to go too far. 12 will be put back on the clock for the 2nd quarter, and the Dreadnoughts lead the 1st quarter 9-0. Nice showing. A couple good turnovers. We'll take this time again to give our sponsors some play. We'll be right back with you to start the 2nd quarter. back at Bryant Stadium. You saw in that promo by Champion the uniforms, the jerseys of which they're wearing tonight. Decided to go with the black pants instead. So far as working out okay for him here tonight. Trying to go 5-1. Dreadnots again coming in 4-1. A lot of football to be played, though, and only 9 points. Kieran Spates shifts sides of the field. Jaquarius Smith on the other end on defense. Man coming in motion behind number 3. Drop back pass, setting up the screen. Caught and then drilled. Wow. Dreadnouts had that one sniffed out a mile away. They tried to set up Jordan on a screen and exploit the speed of the Lakeland defense. And the Dreadnouts did not bite. They held right at their position and spanked them. Smack, smack when he got the ball. 2 defenders on him right away. No gain, 3rd down 10. Camille Smith comes to the near side as the lone wide receiver, single coverage. 3 split outs. He's looking near side now, going back. He's getting pressure coming up the middle. He's going to be caught and sacked. Couple yards loss on the play. And the Dreadnought defense swarming right now on these Yellow Jackets. They're the ones doing the pesky little stings. Not defense looking sharp, Dreadnought fans. Got to do it for 48 minutes, though. Just over a quarter of play thus far. A lot of ball to be played, as we just said. Haven't got a report from Jeff Goddard. We don't know where he is in I-4 land. Maybe he'll be with us near halftime here. We'll see. He may have called it a night. Flag on the play. That'll be a delay of game, right? Ooh, that was a nice little. Pushes him back 5 yards, and another flag. End over end kick. And no one's near him. Go ahead and pick that ball up. He looked up and saw nobody there, and number 13, maybe a little bit too late. DeQuan Devine took a long time, but there was a flag, like I said, back at the 25-yard line, thrown by the sideline judge right when the ball was snapped. So I think that one's going to come back as well. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Back it up. Beep, 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 beep. Some little frustration on the Bartow side. The cheerleaders just get to keep doing that little flag dance they do with the hankies. The band gets to join in. My goodness, I'm glad another band doesn't have that little dance. They would be drummed in all our ears with as many penalties as the Knots have had this season, but faring pretty well tonight so far. Certainly into the first quarter up 9-0, and I think Bartow's been the one on the receiving end of most of the yellow hankies. Set at the 50-yard line. Old DeQuan, old Double D's got a shot at this one coming out at the 50. Here you see him. Lucky number 13. Well, 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 will we ever get this punt off? It's one of the longest punt attempts I think I've ever seen with the timeout now assessed. 10:09 left, second quarter. Let's go ahead and take a timeout. We'll be right back, folks. Stay with us.
During the summer sell down at Regal Chevy, find your tag and get up to 16% cash back on select new 2016 Chevys. And you'll receive a 50-inch smart TV or laptop with every purchase.
Sal says yes.
You pay less.
I missed you. You were gone so long. Yes, I'm talking to you, our lovely audience, who we thank you for joining us each week. In Polk County, statewide, and across this country, and in fact, worldwide on the web. Michael Barrett, thank you for doing such a great job and bringing this action to, oh my word, I see a strange face come up in the press box. That's a little bit better punt as old number 13's decide better off, let it go bounce out of bounds near the 40-yard line. And the Knots will take over in fantastic field position once again. That was the best punt of the night by the Barto punter. And I think that was probably what the discussion was by the coaches that said, do not kick it to Daquan Devine. Please kick it out. I'd rather have you kick a shorter bad kick than kick it to him and let him have an opportunity to return one before we can set up the defense. Have a nice little surprise getting ready to come forth here in just a few moments. Say hello.
Hello.
Well, what a friendly face to join me here. A nice pass. Holden Hotchkiss over the middle to that exact number 13, Daquan Devine, who just had a little too much heat on it, Jeff, just behind him.
I was actually listening to the
We're praying for your safety
the
on
webcast on the way here.
Were you really good?
Yeah, it was brutal. I never saw a wreck. So either A, it was just ridiculous to rush hour traffic, which I just can't fathom, or I guess they got their wreck cleaned up and I didn't see it there. Everything was gone by the time I passed through, but that was one of the worst traffic jams I've been in.
Just didn't feel the same without you. I feel like I was missing my right side of my body over there.
I was mainly listening because I don't want to
Were
get
you
in a
talking
wreck,
to yourself on the way over? I don't think we're that good yet at doing that long of a sideline broadcast in the car, but
yeah, we could have done some FaceTime maybe or something.
We'll have to work on that. Hotchkiss hands off. Davis, nice move at the line, picks up 5-6 yards and then fights for a few more. Good carry.
So from what I could tell listening, this is kind of what we expected. Hard-fought game so
far.
Hard-fought,
controlled, yeah, and a couple mistakes by Barto.
Mm-hmm.
Dreadnots able to capitalize on them.
So it seems like we've kept Jordan in check so far?
Yeah, he's only maybe has 10 yards or even under. He's not been able to get that head of steam, which he's very shifty, you can tell, but as soon as he makes that first move, we're right on him. So obviously keying on him, as you said, was one of the keys of the game.
We got Sid Cambrell is working right now trying to get us a halftime interview lined up, trying to get a member of the 96 state championship team up here since they're here.
Third down,
pregame festivities.
4 for Mr. Hotchkiss, looking man-to-man. Throw it before he turned around.
Nice
Zipper,
catch.
How about that?
Nice
Number
throw.
85. Yeah, that was one of those timing patterns that 85 Zipper had to look back just at the right time, or it would have hit the back of his shoulder pad. And he did so just in the nick of time, and first down ensues.
Great job getting a first down that play. 3rd and 4, got about 6. Nice little simple pitch and catch.
Yeah, it was neat to see that 96 squad back. Coach Castle was all smiles, kind of fun to see him celebrating with that squad, bringing back some fond memories.
Yeah, that's very impressive when you think about the fact that also Barto won the state championship that year. So both schools really are celebrating 20-year anniversaries of state titles.
Very cool. A low snap, 1st and 10, picks it up, hands off. Nice juke Davis, fighting and then extending past the 40-yard line.
Looks like Davis is having to really fight for every yard tonight too against this.
Nothing's easy.
Tough Barto defense.
He's not been in any real clear field. There's always been someone around him, but he still picked up, 6, 7, 8 yard chunks consistently.
We'll have to see who can rush for more yardage tonight, Davis or Jordan. And Michael and I were talking, I guess yesterday or today, and Timothy Jordan, of course, is their star tailback. Well, they, a couple years ago had one of their stars was Trey Jordan. So we were talking about the fact that's probably maybe his either cousin or brother, probably older brother, I'd imagine.
Branson Brown goes off right side in the tight end position, handoff to the big man Allen, who's been efficient tonight. Nothing super fancy, but he's been doing the job he's called to do, which is pick up the needed 3 or 4 yards for first downs. Moving. Yeah, that's looks a little bit stronger tonight. Seemed like he hadn't had any kind of spring or push off in his knees, and seems like he's got that tonight.
Sometimes when you come back after an injury, you might miss a game and come back. Sometimes it takes a couple games more to get fully recovered and back to your normal itself in terms of explosion and cutting ability and things like that.
First down at the 35. Knots on top 9-0, trying to add to that lead. Hotchkiss tucked under center, sends a man across the backside, flip off into a pitch, cut back Davis. Nice idea, Davis.
About 3 tough yards there, maybe 4, 3.5 it looks like.
Interesting the look inside a runner's mind, Jeff. You know, that was designed obviously kind of to be a sweep outside, but he just didn't feel it, so he took a jagged cut and tried to cut it back inside. Hard to say what goes through their mind and says, hey, I'm cutting in. They just see something.
It's all instinct
feeling,
and
yeah,
feel.
instinct.
You know, it's gonna obviously gonna have the vision and the see, but then also sometimes I think it's just by instinct and everything. And the great ones I think will do it by instinct.
Robinson's about 3 yards outside the right hash, and Davis again
Same
comes
play,
to
the
the right
opposite side.
He gets hit at the line, and still somehow gets 2 or 3 yards and almost escapes the pack. It's like a rugby
That
scrum
was
in
the
there.
same play, but opposite side. And that time wasn't quite as successful as he got. I'll say 2 at the most. It's be about 3rd and 4.5 here for Dreadnots.
This is where they've been bringing Allen in to kind of just bust things up. Willie Baker's checking in.
And it's almost 3rd and a short 5.
Allen's coming out,
I don't
though.
think this is going to be an Allen play
No,
here.
a little bit too far.
Yeah, if you get 3 or less, I think it might be Allen territory.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Baker get this one, actually. Maybe on a quick.
Look how much space they're giving Robinson. You could do a wide receiver screen to him.
And they do. Robinson nearly is able to dance over the defender, number 3, Jaleel Allen, or Jamal Allen.
Kind of interesting. Obviously, you've got to respect Robinson, respect his speed, but with only being 3rd and a short 5, a little bit surprising they played that much off the line of scrimmage. That's an easy pitch and catch there for the first down.
I would agree with you as we enter into the second quarter water break. 5:51 remaining. Knots up 9-0 still. Blanking the Barto Yellow Jackets. We'll be right back after these short messages.
200 Hondas must go during the Honda Summer Clearance Event at Regal Honda. Lease a new 2016 Accord, only $179 a month. Family owned, serving Central Florida for 40 years. Trust Regal Honda Lakeland.
Sal says yes, you pay less.
Well, tonight, Tim, for the Harry Seafood halftime show interview, we're going to have the first time we're going to do an interview with 2 brothers.
And who might they be?
Well, you longtime Dreadnought fans who were around for the '96 state championship should be able to figure that out. I'm talking to you, Keith Cornea. Going to be Jimmy and Dennis Frizzell. I know Jimmy was a sophomore that year, and I believe Dennis was his older brother was either a year or 2 ahead of him. So I think he was a senior. I think they were 2 years apart. I'll have to ask them. I don't remember quite for sure, but that'd be neat to get to interview both of them. And actually, one of my younger brothers, Kevin, he was the same grade as Jimmy. They both graduated class of '99, so I actually know Jimmy a little bit. So that'd be a fun interview.
A little bit of a seam there, gap for Davis as he broke a tackle there and fights near the 10-yard line.
Used to play football at Jimmy in the front yard with Kevin and
Yeah.
my other brother Jason and other neighborhood friends. Brent Talcott, he used to practice kicking on
You
our.
play the old kill the guy with the ball.
Yeah.
That used to be just loads of fun.
I think I used to be the all-time quarterback.
That was broken
I was the big
arms
brother.
waiting to happen. Yeah.
And actually, we used to have a shrub in our yard, separating our yard from our neighbor's yard, and that's actually seriously how Brent first practice kicking was in our yard.
Oh, look at that. That's
Many
some
moons ago. He
way
could always
back
outkick
history.
the rest of us.
Second down and a short 3. Strong power eye. And Davis,
Another flag.
maybe ill-advised, cut back and ran away from his blocker, who seemingly had a lane going, but with that penalty, we'll back it up.
We only have the 2 heads as a break. I guess we'll have to ask each brother a few questions separately. As you see, Coach Castle there and Coach Baylor always by his side when he's calling out the plays. As Holden stands in between and waiting to get the call. Here comes your dancing referee.
He is a boogier.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. Basketball games and football games. I've seen him many times here and over at All Saints Academy where I used to work. Tim, I decided on the way over here that you secretly want to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Did I mention it too much?
Yeah, a little bit. I think that's your secret ambition.
I got 2 girls that dance. It's unfortunately part of the pattern of my life. As
Davis.
Davis,
TV show.
Yeah.
This front 7 by Barto has done a very good job. They're holding their own and making Lakeland work for everything.
I'm almost as famous as some of the people they have on Dancing with the Stars.
You're right. Hey, you've done Lakeland football for 20 years. I think that
They
counts.
pick anybody at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you. It's like,
Maybe they could put Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump on there because they both are dancing with the truth.
yeah, there you go. It's like you were on MASH 40 years ago and played a bit part. Would you like to? 3rd and 7. Faced a couple of these 3rd down conversions here. Oh, low snap. Hotchkiss, though, handles it, and he's going to go deep. Let's see who comes up with it. Fighting in. There, you'd expect that. Robinson.
Touchdown.
Jump ball.
Dreadnots.
Robinson, touchdown. That was pretty. That poor defender had no chance.
James Robinson was taller and more athletic. He could jump higher. He did a good job of waiting till the ball got there, timing his jump perfectly, and he high pointed that ball and was able to get it in his big mitts before the Barto cornerback could get his hands on it.
That's almost like breathing for Robinson and Hotchkiss. That they do that so much in practice, and when it's single coverage and you have an undersized DB, that's going to be a touchdown.
That was an easy pitch and catch there for the
Whoops,
potent.
that looked a little bit outside. Oh, he
Snuck
squoze
it
it
back
in there,
in.
snuck it.
The potent passing combination for Lakeland. Hotchkiss to Robinson. We've said that a few times over the years.
Well, we can, I wouldn't say breathe a little bit. You can loosen one little belt notch off the belt, though. As the only reason I say that is because the Knott defense is playing so well. If they can keep that consistency up, they are playing fabulous tonight. One of the best all-around performances I've seen from them.
I'll tell you, I know I heard you talk about it on the way here. If you take away that Carroll City game and those stats, this Dreadnought defense has pretty much been perfect all year.
Yeah. Nice little pad here before the end of the first half, if the defense can hold.
Yeah, a 16-point lead is pretty nice. As Michael reminded us, as Gator fans know, unfortunately, that means nothing, a 16-point lead.
I could tack on a few more and it would mean nothing
All about
to the Gators. Yeah. The tale of 2 halves, right? That, you know, and that's not necessarily an unwritten story. That thing's been written a lot. I mean, we've seen that on more than one occasion than a few times as mishandled reception and he steps back into the end zone in the process. That's an unfortunate mistake by them.
Actually, it's probably good
maybe
for them
good. He would have
because
gotten,
he got nailed inside the 10 probably.
That's a good point. That was a fortunate mistake.
Yeah, they're lucky that that's the rule for high school. Because in college, the pros, you'd have to return that. Speaking of uniforms and the poll we had last week to determine which was the most popular Dreadnought uniform, did you see those absolutely ridiculous uniforms that Miami Dolphins had on last night?
I know. What?
They're all orange. White helmets with an orange pants and orange tops. It was like, neon Buccaneer uniforms
Is that when
back in the day.
you're getting desperate on your team when you're having to try to switch stuff up that much?
It was like neon orange uniforms. That's some of the worst ones I've seen.
Davin Williams just handing it off straight up the gut. And
Actually, it was a direct snap.
Oh, direct snap. Consistent.
He faked the snap over the head.
Glad you caught that. I was looking over at the
nobody.
I was looking at the
Dreadnought defense.
Greek columns the band is getting ready to wheel in. I wasn't sure what those were, but they're going to turn the Bill Castle Field into a Greek Coliseum or something here at halftime, as they've been ramping up their show every week consistently from the beginning. They were in shorts and then they wore baseball hats and they kept adding on.
By the end of the season, they'll have on like tuxedos.
Yeah,
band tuxedos.
They'll have a whole fortress built out there. Little flip out to the speedster, Jordan, who picks up a nice 8 or 9 yards.
Wow, he covered that ground fast.
Actually,
he got them in his yards. I thought he had like 5 yards, but
yeah, he did that earlier. On one of his carries, I thought he got a yard, and I was like, wait a minute, he got 5 yards. That's why I said he's kind of elusive.
Be interesting to see what kind of colleges recruit him. You know, how big of colleges and everything. I see he's a senior, so I see what all colleges are in the market for him.
Probably the last timeout of the first half, with the Knots now leading 16-0. We'll take a brief timeout. Stay with us.
During our Fun in the Sun event at Regal Kia Lakeland, drive a new 2016 Kia Soul. Get 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash. You've got the sun, you've got the fun, and we've got the savings at Regal Kia Lakeland.
South says yes, you pay less.
Back here, just north of downtown Lakeland, and the actual Lakeland High School campus, as is tradition, playing off campus. A lot of discussion over the years about changing things or revamping Bryant Stadium, and hard to break winning tradition.
I know at one point there was some, I think, talk, I think probably just rumors, you know, scuttlebutt, if you will, about trying to really make some serious improvements here and maybe add a little bit more seats in the ends or whatever, and then maybe try to make a bid to host the state championship games.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Because honestly, like, I think it'd be a great idea. Speaking of state championships, I remember of the games I've been to, which I've been to 2 or 3 state championship games that Lakeland's played in. My favorite one was in '96. Speaking of '96, it was over Daytona Beach, and that stadium's about, I don't know, 12, 15,000 or something like that. And it's just so much better than playing these stadiums that are 70, 80,000. When you have 5,000 people there, 10,000 people, it looks like nobody's there.
Yeah.
You know, and the atmosphere is just not great. At the Swamp or over at, you know, now they play in Orlando at the stadium over there. I mean, it's a nice stadium, but it's just way too big, you know.
On second down 8, Jordan gets stuffed right there at the line. Yeah, I think I even saw, Jeff, some drawings of flipping this whole thing around, like even putting brand new press boxes on what is now the visitor side, building that all up, putting special boxes and extending that, and that went away pretty quick, but it was fascinating to see at least someone's vision of it.
Yeah, even if you didn't do that, even if you just, you know, you could probably get some more seats on either end, probably get up to 12,000 or something like that, and then you could probably pack it out for a state championship game. And certainly Lakeland's in the middle of the state. I mean, I think it would be nice.
Third down and 8. Long third down with just under a minute to play.
Bartow's in no hurry.
Yeah, they're not, but desperate to. Would love to try to do something here before the half, but they're not acting like they really are rushing in any way, as Jeff just said. Handoff to their skilled player, Jordan, but nothing. He slips right there at the 30.
Marquise Green right there to collect the easy tackle.
I'd be curious kind of to see what some of the other players say about playing on turf that don't, you know, all year play on turf. Some of the skilled runners like Jordan, is that a hurt to him? Does he like it? I'm just curious to see if it affects their cutting ability or anything.
This not the way Barto certainly would have drawn it up to be down 16-0 at halftime, and with their style of play predominantly a running team, and they look like they're not a very prolific passing team. It's going to be a difficult game for them to make a comeback in.
Well, it's interesting in warm-ups, you know, I was saying the quarterback, number 11, obviously Davin Williams is capable, and he was making some long throws in warm-ups, and then...
Well, he's a big kid. I'm sure he has a good arm. The question is the accuracy.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard the first play of the game was a 40-yard pass attempt, and then that's been it since that time. It was an incomplete pass way over the intended receiver's head.
I lost a couple minutes there. I missed him again.
Yeah, but since then, nada.
Did you call the '96 state championship? Did you call it on the radio? Do you remember?
Yeah, we did. I'm trying to think if they let us do the actual game. We were able to do a few of them on the radio. I think that was one we were able to do. We got permission, and that was cold that night too, if I remember.
Oh, it was freezing cold.
Freezing, yeah.
Yeah, we myself and one of my high school, of course, I was in college at that point, having graduated from Lakeland in '94, but one of my high school teammates and high school classmates and good friend Rob Campbell, we went to that game together along with my younger brothers who were a sophomore and freshman at Lakeland at the time. And I remember it was freezing. We were dressed up in jackets and gloves on. We had blankets over us. It was still freezing. And then I remember after the game, we actually followed the team back and stopped. I'll have to ask Jimmy and Dennis about this at the half. I think it was like Golden Corral, one of those kind of buffet restaurants. I think it was Golden Corral. And we went there and ate with the team and everything. And of course, clap for when they come in, all that kind of stuff. It was pretty cool. But
I remember we were there because I remember my wife saying, "I'm never coming to these games again when it's that cold."
Yeah, that was definitely one of the coldest.
Even the
nights I've
blankets,
been in.
it was cutting right through the
brutal,
blankets. I don't care what you had.
There was one night, one day up in college in Macon, Georgia. I covered a softball game. It was actually an afternoon game, but like in March, early in the softball season, and it was brutally cold. I mean, I was freezing that day.
The only thing being froze out right now are the Barto Yellow Jackets being froze out by the Lakeland Dreadnought defense. And humid night here in late September. Hoping for some of those cold fronts to actually make it down. Right now, the Knots in control of this one, 16-0 here at home as we enter the Harry Seafood halftime show.
We're getting pretty prolific with the safeties this year, Tim.
With what was that?
The safeties, 2 weeks in a row. I think it's the third of the year, right? So we will not have a halftime interview tonight, but we should have interviews after the game. So we're about to get started here at the Harry Seafood halftime show, and soon enough we'll be interviewing both Jimmy and Dennis Frizzell, the Frizzell brothers, who were both on the state championship team back in 1996. Cool to win a state championship, even cooler to win one with your brother. How about that?
That is cool. The anchoress will be first to entertain here at halftime.
I will take a commercial break and be back with you as the Harry Seafood halftime show rolls on.
I'm Doug Bernetti, and I've lived in this area most of my life. Just one look at the interstate says it all. More people mean more cars, and that means more accidents. It could happen to you. And when it does, you may not be ready. But at Bernetti, PA, we're ready. We have done this every day for over 20 years. We fight to recover compensation for our clients' car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages. Plus, we deal with the insurance companies so clients can get back on the road. Call 1-800-BERNETTI. We're ready.
Agnini Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agnini Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
From up here, most pre-owned vehicles look pretty similar, but that just isn't the case. Hi, I'm Benny Jr. with Barto Ford. Only at Barto Ford do we meticulously inspect every pre-owned vehicle that makes our lot. Because of our high sales volume, we're able to keep only the best. And let's face it, that's what you're looking for when you're looking for the best deal. A quality, premium, pre-owned vehicle. It's just another reason why at Barto Ford we say we're different and we prove it.
During our Fun in the Sun event at Regal Kia Lakeland, drive a new 2016 Optima, get 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash. You got the sun, you got the fun, and we've got the savings at Regal Kia Lakeland.
South says yes, you pay less.
Honda's must-go during the Honda Summer Clearance Event at Regal Honda. Lease a new 2016 Civic, only $169 a month. Family-owned, serving Central Florida for 40 years. Trust Regal Honda Lakeland.
Sal says yes, you pay less.
High school juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Barto Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveFordExcellence.com for official rules. The 24th annual Drive for Excellence with Barto Ford. We're different and we prove it.
This is Jeff Goddard back on the Harry Seafood halftime show here at the Lakeland Football Webcast. And first, we're interviewing two brothers at the same time tonight. To my left is Dennis Frizzell, and to my right is Jimmy Frizzell, both members of the 1996 state championship team. I'll start with you, Dennis, as the older brother. I believe you were a tight end in the team that year. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What was first thoughts about being back here tonight at Bryant Stadium, seeing a lot of your teammates celebrating the 20-year anniversary of the state championship?
It was great. Just reconnecting with all the guys. I don't think I've been back to Bryant since last time Jimmy was here playing. So it was great just seeing what everyone was up to, getting in contact with everybody over the internet, putting this thing together. Just feeling that team spirit hasn't died since '96, and it was great just coming back.
And then you went on to play college ball at Valdosta State. Talk a little bit about your college experience.
It was great. It was the next step in the process. Going through 5 years actually there. We were #1 in the nation in my senior year for a while. So it was just enriching. It was good to move on to there and then beyond that.
And what have you been up to the past 15 years or so post-college?
I actually started off, I'm up in Louisville, Kentucky now. I started off going up there playing arena football. I played that for 4 years, and now I've moved on to what mom and dad paid for in college. It's software development, and I'm leading a software development team up there in Louisville, Kentucky.
You ever go to any Louisville football games?
I have not been to any U of L games yet. Big fan, I just haven't made it out there yet.
That's a hot ticket right now, I'm sure, up in Louisville.
Yeah, a lot of buzz going on in the city about that team. I mean, they're truly excited about that. It's a huge following.
No doubt. So over here we have Jimmy Frizzell. You were a wide receiver on that team, I believe, correct?
That is correct, yep.
So what was it like winning a state championship with your brother on the same team as your brother?
It was awesome. That was my first year starting in Lakeland, and to be able to play alongside with my brother, it was truly a memory.
And then after you graduated from Lakeland, I believe you went to UCF. Talk a little bit about your college experience and what are you up to now?
I loved the college experience. It was great to play at a school with UCF. It's great to see what they've come to now. Had a bad year last year, made some coaching changes. Got a lot of excitement around campus now. I currently live over there just outside Orlando. I actually am selling medical equipment, spinal equipment for screws and rods in the backs.
And you also played some arena football too, didn't you, after UCF?
I did. I was fortunate enough to play a couple years, bounced around in the NFL, and then played 4 years in arena. Unfortunately, it hurt my knee. Kind of called it quits then and had to go on to a real job.
All right, Dennis, what about playing for Coach Castle? What did that mean to you? And obviously, we're talking a lot about Coach Castle this year. Just won his 400th game. Just talk a little bit about what it was like playing for a coaching legend in Bill Castle.
Well, the 400 thing is amazing. I mean, he deserves every victory he's gotten there. And personally, he introduced me to the organized structure that football should be. It was great. He developed a team atmosphere, and that's what I walked away from this program with. It wasn't about me. It was about the team, and you see that from all the guys on the field that year. We gave up everything for each other. There was not a single guy doing it for themselves. And Coach instilled that in us. He taught that to us, and I think everybody has shown their back today for that reason.
Only the second person in Florida history to win 400 games. As you said, it's an amazing stat. What about you, Jimmy, playing for Coach Castle? What was that like, and what was something maybe you learned from Coach Castle?
Like my brother said, he had a structure to his coaching. There's a reason he's lasted so long at the game, that a team that's been successful every year, year in, year out, new crop of kids every 4 years, just keeps teaching them the correct techniques. And it's amazing that when you go on to that next collegiate level and how much advanced you are with some of those guys who are great athletes, but they haven't had the coaching that Coach Castle instills.
Now, I have to ask you, one thing that doesn't get talked about a lot is the fact that you guys won in '96, and the next 2 years, 97, tough loss in the quarterfinals to St. Thomas, a play where you got tripped up on what could have been a long touchdown pass. My dad and my brothers who grew up with you still swear today that we got robbed by the referee. What was that play like?
Well, obviously I was focusing on the ball, ran a post route, beat the defender, thought pretty much I was going into the end zone, and when I caught the ball, some referee was laying on the ground and took me down. And unfortunately we didn't score on that drive. I always say it's first down. We had plenty of other opportunities. Overtime we had some opportunities as well and just didn't get it done. It still lives a little bit.
And probably one of the tougher losses for Coach Castle in his mind, I'm sure, too, over his illustrious career. But then the next year, we had the 12 men on the field goal by Estero. I mean, two controversial plays. I mean, you could have been, back-to-back state championships a decade before the 04 to 06 team.
I appreciate you rubbing that in.
I'm not rubbing it in. I'm just saying that it's an amazing that, people don't talk about you guys were, and then they won in 99. It could have been 4 in a row. Everyone talks about the 04 to 06 Dreadnots, but the late 90s team was really just as good.
We had some exceptional athletes. We had a lot of athletes that actually went on and played at the collegiate and professional level in those teams. So, yeah, it's unfortunate incidences that happened either in my junior or senior year that held us out of state championship contention where I think we had a good enough team to win it, but that's the way it bounces.
You have to be lucky in the playoffs. You got to have some luck involved, no doubt about it. Going back to that state championship game over in Daytona Beach, any specific memories of that game? I was at that game. I remember how freezing cold it was. What about for you? Any specific memories?
I had a great view of it. Unfortunately for me, I was injured that game. I had my spleen removed 2 weeks before. But it's just still watching the guys. That's the way Coach Castle prepares and deals with the team. For me, it was nice to see it was next man up. Ronnie Jenton came in, and with the guidance of Jimmy and Prashawn Denson, he stepped right in, and they didn't lose a beat. They went on and routed St. Thomas in the state championship game. So just watching that and seeing everything come together that final game was just so rewarding, and we still carry it to this day.
Any final thoughts on that state championship game? I remember after the game, we were at the game, we followed you guys. I think it was the Golden Corral, had a post-game meal. What about you in terms of any thoughts on that, the night you won the state championship game?
It was enjoyable. That was my sophomore year. I let kind of all the seniors embrace it. It's actually not until I finished my senior year do you actually reflect on how difficult it is. So getting it as a youthful sophomore and like you said, the junior and senior year, I expected to win more and was unable to get that opportunity. So now I think I look back on it more and appreciate the opportunity.
And your parents are doing well?
They are. They're doing extremely well, still in Lakeland, retired, and proudful grandparents now.
I see them around town every once in a while. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Jimmy and Dennis Frizzell, our guests on the Harry Seafood Halftime Show, members of the 1996 state championship team, Coach Castle's second, as tonight they're celebrating their 20-year anniversary of that special occasion. We'll take a commercial break and be back with the rest of the Harry Seafood Halftime Show.
Hey yo! Ooh-wee! Hey yo! Ooh-wee! We all we got! We all we need! 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 We all we got! We all we need!
Giant Stadium here at the conclusion of the Harry Seafood halftime show. About to get set for the third quarter. What a great time of remembrance there, bringing the Frizzell brothers in for some chatter about what happened during their time and their stint here at Lakeland High School. They had some fantastic years. So Knott's trying to make some more memories tonight, up 16-0 here against the stingy Barto Yellow Jacket team that notoriously gives us fits. We'll see if it's consistent throughout this game with the Knott defense really in control, or will Barto have figured something out at halftime? That is the question. With the winning of the coin toss by the Knots, they deferred, and they will get the ball here in the second half. They would love nothing more than to tack on 7 more and put this one in a very tough position for Barto in that running game. They're going to force them out of their game plan to get back in it. Christian Ramirez, they've got their own number 17 on that side of the field. Their kicker will get the clock started here in the third quarter. Pooch lob, left footer, a little bit of confusion on it, but now we've got it. They're not taking any chances. Number 6 for the Knots makes a good catch. Jakari West, of course. Jakari with a great story, coming back a few weeks ago with a fine touchdown catch. Celebrated by many that know how he's had to fight back from many injuries and trials to get back to that spot where he was able to pull in a touchdown. First play of the third quarter on offense for Hotchkiss and company. Robinson, dangerous man-to-man coverage out here. Number 3 is going to try to contain him. Jalen Miller is going to get the chance. Nice job of Jalen making contact with the back of Robinson when he caught the ball and kind of knocked him off his feet just so he couldn't make a turn and get going upfield. Double D, Quan Devine comes in. Now he comes right back out.
Halftime stats to look at, Tim.
Got some good ones.
See, Davis, 11 carries for 52 yards and the 1 touchdown. Jordan for Barto, 9 carries for 20 yards. So Davis definitely having the better first half of the 2 star running backs, 2 of the best, if not the 2 best running backs in Polk County.
Looking for that direct snap of our own. Davis does get it off right side.
That's a wild knot.
Yeah, it is a wild knot.
Hotchkiss 5 of 8, 46 yards and a touchdown. Williams 1 of 3 for -3, so no passing yardage at all there for Barto.
As we thought.
Barto 1 first down. 16, let's see. 0 yards to first half for Barto. 3 rushing yards, -3 passing, 1 first down.
Tough road for Barto on the offensive side of things as the Knots try to pick up a 3rd down conversion. They had several in the first half. Toss over to Robinson, easy catch. Nice throw by Hotchkiss right in the breadbasket.
They got that down.
Yeah, and that one literally hit him. The nose of the ball hit right in between the 4. Good shot.
Lakeland only had 113 total yards the first half, so definitely a defensive game, but with a couple of miscues by Barto, Lakeland still able to get 16 points on just 113 yards.
Yeah, we thought that could kind of be where the tables would turn a little bit on those key miscues. and then capitalizing. Some movement on the ball before. Hotchkiss tries to scramble and gets thrown down by number 23. They got to jump. They got lucky. There could have been a flag easily
Albert
on that
A.J.
play.
Thomas, the defensive end, got the sack.
Yeah, they let him go. I mean, they actually jumped before the ball was snapped, and the refs didn't call it, and so they were in a lot quicker. That was designed to kind of let them through, but normally you'd have a little bit more time, and he was ready to launch one downfield, just didn't have it, though.
Albert, only a sophomore for Bartow, so he's got a bright future ahead of him, it looks like.
Big loss on first down, 2nd and 17.
I thought that Holden was going to get away from him. He saw him coming and started to scramble to his right, but just could not get away from Mr. Thomas there of the Yellow Jackets.
Holden is not known again for that kind of quick first burst. He's not bad. He can glide it when he gets the steps going, but just not known for it. They try to get some easy yards back on first down. Look at Davis. Davis cuts through the defense. He's off at the 30. Davis 20. One man. He's not going to get a touchdown, A.J. Davis. What a beautiful slashing move near the 45-yard line.
On 2nd and 17, a 60-yard touchdown jaunt by A.J.
Over
Davis.
100 yards now on that one play. He was
You got
52 and now tacks on 60, about 110 yards for Davis on the night, just like that. Snap of a finger. Pretty to watch.
That was a great cutback he made there.
Wow.
Made a guy miss, too. And it was, you know, that's the one thing you don't necessarily see him do a whole lot is make guys miss. He cuts back a lot, you know, but he made that guy miss and cut back and went down the right sideline into the north end zone and hit Pater for his 2nd touchdown of the night. Another McDonald extra point. And your new score here at Bryant Stadium with 9:03 to go in the 3rd quarter. Lakeland 23, Barto 0. This is kind of one of those games where you look at it and the final score is not going to be indicative of how tough the game was and how well Barto played. But it's just one of those things where Barto is a good team. They play tough, but they're just not as good as Lakeland. And so over the course of a game, you know, that's going to bear itself out. And that's what you're seeing here in this ball game tonight.
That was one of the better runs of the season for Mr. Davis. I was watching the
definitely one of his highlights of the year.
Barto guys, and they were almost literally looking at each other like, did that just happen? How did he get through like 5 of us? They had him pinned really over on the far sideline.
Bounced it outside, and then he kind of cut back a little bit and made
this kind of head, you know, he did that head juke like, I'm still going outside. No, I'm not. And then just everyone went, whoops. So that was the very specific, wordy explanation I just gave you. Whoops. Into the end zone it goes.
I tell you, I'm going to miss watching A.J. Davis play next year. It will not be quite the same calling these games and watching Dreadnought football without Mr. Davis. He's certainly been a joy to watch these past 4 years.
Of course, Xavier, you know, Allen, the 11th grader, and talking about that, we've got, unfortunately, some other, you know, Covington's gone, yeah.
And so is McKee Marber, the guy who had the big game last week. He's only a junior, so he could be the starting tailback next year, along with Allen in the backfield.
So Davin Williams rolls out. Oh, it gets pushed in the back. How did that not get called? But it doesn't matter. Shaboom. See now getting out of their game plan.
Latrell Jean, Robert Madden, and one other Dreadnought who's on the ground there. It looks like Jaquan Lawrence. The three of those Dreadnought defenders combined on the sack, but it looked like Jaquan Lawrence was the one who really got to Williams first.
Kind of that green light go, Jeff, for the defense now with Barto trailing 23-0. They can really let them loose.
Pin your ears back and get to the quarterback.
And just again out
but you got to be careful. A little draw there with Jordan. It could be a big play for Barto.
But now 2nd and 22. Way back at the 3. They got to be in danger again of getting a safety like they had in the first half. He was leery of that, to be sure, at the 5-yard line. Whistle blows, guys. Stop.
Avery Edwards showing some composure there, not responding to the late hit by Barto. And then he also got Jaquan Lawrence out of there. Showing a little bit of leadership there by the big defensive tackle. I'd like to see that the senior. I'd like to see that senior leadership. No reason to be caught up in any of that nonsense.
It's just frustration on Bartow's part. Rightfully so, outside the 6-yard line, a 3rd and 22 still. This would be one whale of a 3rd down conversion, as they have not had a play go for this distance tonight. Not that it can't happen, just improbable. Drops back. Now getting pressure, rolls out right side, looking downfield, has lots of time. Now he decides to run it, but that's not going to get the job done. Boy, how did the receiver not get open? He had so much time to just dance back there, and I'm surprised. Before number 9 for the Knots, Jaquarius Smith, finally pushed him out of bounds. Where's my cut? I'm just kidding. Oh my. Good defensive stand right there. Aggressive stand by the defense. They want to shut out.
Lakeland should get the ball back here in excellent field position. Whoa, it's going to be a it's going to be a safety as the ball was snapped over the punter's head. Had no chance to get that. I don't know if Shaq could have gotten that one. That was very high. Second safety of the night, this one for the special teams. And your new score, 25 for Lakeland and still 0 for Barto.
Boldini dancing a little jig after that one. Really happy with his defense. That was one of their better series I've seen all year in terms of aggressive play. Now getting away from Barto a little bit. The Knots found the can of Raid, and they have sprayed the Yellow Jacket nest.
Take care of the Hornets last week, taking care of the Yellow Jackets tonight. Do we play the Bumblebees next week,
yeah,
or the Wasps?
They're the Wasps. They're falling from the nest as we speak in agony.
Did you see the story yesterday, what happened, the Ryder Cup, the practice round?
No.
3 of the European players were in practice in the putting green, and Henrik Stenson and Roy McIlroy kept on missing this. It's about an 8 or 10 foot putt, and they just couldn't make it. And there was an American fan who was heckling him, you know, and then he said, "Come on, I can make that putt. Come on, even I can make that putt." So Stinson calls him out of the crowd and gives him a putter. And then Justin Rose comes over and puts a $100 bill on the ground next to the ball. What? And so this guy, he's like, you know, lining the putt up like he's a professional or anything. Gets there, nails it. Nothing, right down the middle of the cup. And he does the tiger fist pump and everything. And the European guys were great. They were laughing. They all came and gave him a hug and gave him the $100 bill, you know.
That's awesome.
I mean, it was truly classic.
That's beautiful. Oh, yes.
Either one of two things. Either you're right and he's auditioning for Dancing with the Stars, or B, he had a little tequila before the game tonight, or some kind of adult beverage, as we say, and he's enjoying himself out there. So last week we had a poll for the best uniform combination. Tonight you can text in or tweet at us what's the favorite dance move of yours with this referee we have tonight.
Davis with a couple yards on first down. I almost want to be penalized in some weird penalty so we can watch what he does.
Yeah, with some of those unusual penalties you don't see very often.
I want to see him have to go down and hits the knees with the hands and does a little sachet at the end.
Yeah, he's a piece of work.
Knots in control here right now, just maybe a little bit of clock management. They're not laying off just yet, though, as Hotchkiss still out there.
2 more scores because our second running clock in a row, second week in a row.
That'd be nice. Late handoff, kind of holds it close, and then Davis gets wrapped up back of the helmet. I don't know if he got a piece of the face mask. I did see a late flag come in.
Could be a face mask.
Saw a head jerk around. It looked like he had the back of his head, but we'll see.
Our horse collar, but Let's see. Let's see what the referee does for this.
Yeah, this could be good. Here we go. Hands.
Oh, he gets Lakeland instead of face mask. So
Interesting.
block in the back. I believe that's what the signal was for. Without the dance move this time, though.
That was one whip short of a nay-nay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
The
close.
nay-nay.
He almost did it.
Negated a nice 5 or 6 yard run by Davis. Be 2nd and 15 now. Davis has one-on-one coverage out on the outside.
Nice setup screen. Robinson, can he get to the outside? He gets one tackler, going to get him from behind. Thought he had the open field and
Well, the guy who was
good
coming
pursuit.
good
the backside.
pursuit. Yeah, if he hadn't come up and tripped him up, he would have gotten at least, I'd say, 5 more yards. Good effort there by the Barto defender.
With that block in the back, that's really stopped the momentum on this drive. And Castle's going to talk to his team on a 3rd and 13, and then maybe a unfortunate little.
Who's that? Is that Davis coming up?
Robinson. Not putting any pressure on his legs. Now he is. Trainer's going to look at him, and he seems to be walking fine. He just wanted to ride off
cramps.
the field.
You know what they say about wide receivers, don't you? They're the divas of a football team.
You said it.
Yeah, my guess is it could just be a cramp.
Nice shoes he's got working.
Yes, I like the orange shoes. He is not going to get lost out there, that's for sure. Yeah, I think it's just a cramp as they're stretching him out. This is actually our 3rd quarter hydration respite, Tim. We'll just keep it here with you, though.
You are not a friend of me,
There's
humidity.
you see James getting stretched out there.
Roll out left side. Nice blocking. Pass. Davis caught, but out
Did
of
he
bounds.
catch it? No, he caught it. He got 1 foot in.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, what an unbelievable catch by your halfback. I mean, that's a catch a lot of wide receivers aren't going to make. He adjusted his body, caught the ball, and got 1 foot in bounds. That, my friends, is as good of a catch as you'll see all night, maybe all year.
Concentration, yeah, the body positioning and the control was something to watch.
That right there really has to impress college scouts. As here's a
I
guy, not
guess.
only can he catch screen passes, he can line him up as a wideout.
Hotchkiss gets a fresh set of downs, and that spectacular catch. Now a cutback. Davis finds a gap. He's off to the races, barely tackled at the 5-yard line. The defense wraps him up.
Good job there by Brandon Whitten preventing the touchdown.
Quarterback got stepped on out there, I think.
The Hotchkiss?
Something, yeah.
That's not good. It was funny that last play a while ago on the third.
Oh no, that's not Hotchkiss. I'm sorry, he's over at the sideline.
On the 3rd down completion a while ago to Davis. You know, of course, Robinson being stretched out. I look down and see Daquan Devine being stretched out. I'm like, it's 3rd and long. who's Hotchkiss gonna throw the ball to? I'm thinking, Willie Baker or DeShazier. All of a sudden, boom, our halfback makes an unbelievable catch. I tell you, one of these college programs that kind of runs a spread that passes the ball a lot. Davis could be a great fit in a program like that because not only is he obviously a great running back, he can line up and catch the ball out of the backfield.
That's where we wish we had some. Branson Brown?
Branson Brown, yeah, looks like he's
Good,
okay
he
as
popped
he gets
up. His mama's happy to see him pop back up. Just came back from that broken hand or whatever it was. First and goal to go at the 5-yard line. That was the Polk County call. Xavier Allen, some serious beef in there. 97 along with Davis, blocking left side. Oh, Davis, tripped up at the 2. He wanted it. Ugh.
That was a good tackle there by
that was a good tackle. I'm not
four,
sure.
I think is number 4 for Barto.
I don't know how he got
Chris
by those
Jones,
big bodies.
Senior linebacker. Yeah, he grabbed him by his ankles there and was not going to let go. They should go ahead and give this ball to AJ, let AJ punch it in. As he already has 2 touchdowns tonight.
Long snap count. Allen gets
Allen's
it.
gonna
No,
get this
touched. He's on. Wow, for a big guy. There had to be a hole there. No one got a paw on him.
Piece of cake.
Yes. Or banana pudding in this case. That was really good. It was still even a little bit cool at halftime. Yes, I had some more. Xavier Allen, nice job. Gets his touchdown for the night.
I think someone has really emerged as the strong candidate for the offensive player of the game here in the last 2 drives.
I believe number Deuce there is made some pretty amazing plays.
Yes, he has.
Held by Mr. Backup quarterback and put through by your kicker, Mackenzie McDonald, for another good extra point. We are 3 points shy of a running clockster. Everyone's coming up a little bit gimpy. DeQuan's got a cramp.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you might start seeing the backups going in the next drive. Looks like this one. It looks like this the season, the district, I should say, is going to come down to Lakeland Winter Haven in a couple weeks over at Winter Haven. Lakeland's going to have to be on their A game that night, especially going on the road, the first road game of the year, other than that preseason victory over the Braves of Lake Gibson.
Some of these young players don't even know what it means to play on the road. They've been pretty spoiled here. That kick's going to go just inside the end zone.
McKenzie's powerful leg is in good form tonight.
He does. He's got it. Can the Knott defense hold?
First and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from the 20-yard line.
Cheerleaders throwing the footballs tonight for the first time tonight, the little footballs. Well, they need some lessons.
So read option there as Williams keeps it and falls forward for maybe a half a yard. But did not get much, that's for sure.
Bartow cheerleaders are one of the top co-ed cheerleading squads in the country. They've won the national championship last year. And,
Did they really?
Yeah.
The national championship?
Yeah, they're amazing. They take it extremely seriously. Nice pass and dropped. And yeah, good job covering that up, as it could have been a free ball there.
It is, yeah. They ruled it as a backwards pass, so he lost a yard or so on that play.
We do open gym at Gym Etc. on Saturday, so our girls can tumble and do some stuff. And a lot of times the Bartow cheerleaders will come in and practice, and they do some amazing things. Some of those.
I was wondering why you knew so much about the Bartow cheerleaders.
Guys are strong. Late pitch to Jordan, who continues to break tackles. Nice run, but he's going to come up a few yards short.
No, actually a lot of yards short because they lost yardage there. He was just getting back to the original line of scrimmage almost.
They're so, their Bartow cheerleaders are deeper than the football team. I think their JV team is packed, waiting to just get an opportunity to be on. And I can't remember what they said, but it was a bunch of people got scholarships last year. So, I mean, they take it seriously. The UCF, full rides and cheerleading scholarships. So, pretty impressive.
Tim, who doesn't take cheerleading serious?
Well, that rare few. punt situation. Again, a bad snap. Boy, they are going to be in trouble. Number 15 is going to get it out of the end zone and have a nice little run. And
he might get a first down.
Are you kidding me?
No,
that is going to be one of the runs of
Are you serious?
the season. That is a highlight. I want to see that again. How did that happen?
No flags either.
Are you kidding me? I hadn't broken it out in a while, but that is a double. Are you kidding me?
How did that happen? And my question is, I'm not sure if that was the original guy who had the ball. If he handed it off.
I was going to say,
because the first guy
he ate a few chili dogs in between when he was in the scrum
The first guy didn't have the dreads, I don't think.
There is a flag, a bunch of flags. I don't know if that was illegal, like forward. He gave the ball to him ahead of it. They're acting like they're going to kick an extra point.
Yeah, I think so. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's probably a celebration.
Wow, I really want to see that again.
Yeah, I wish we had instant replay here.
Come on, Mike, get us instant replay.
Let's see what our good friend has to say.
Oh, boy.
Look at it. Here he goes. Here he goes.
Wah! Pia! Ho!
That's some kung fu there.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
The guys were fast as lightning.
Oh, gosh. What a weird play.
I mean, I guess when your defense is unpenetrable, that's the only way you're going to allow points is in a freak special teams play. That could seriously make the Sports Center top 10.
Ooh, he did some more authority on that one.
Have you noticed this guy too? Not only does he do, I mean, he has a strut in his walk.
He
does. I mean, he saunters.
He's got
out
a little
there.
pre-saunters, and then he gets a little pre-movement before the call, which is very suave.
They're going to go for 2. Why not? Because you're down, 26 points. So they're actually down 4 touchdowns if you get 4, 2-point conversions, and it's half the distance to the goal because of the penalty. So why not?
They're doing the Bernie on the Naughtitron up there. Maybe they're making.
What's the Bernie? Is that Bernie Sanders? Does he dance or something?
I'm not sure what it is. Going for 2. Handoff, right side. Jordan got it.
Just barely, but he fell into the end zone.
A little something for him to cheer about. That was almost worth it, I must say. I mean, I'd love to see the shutout, but that last minute or 2 was gold. Highlight gold. A little sad that we may not see the running clock tonight, but
that was unbelievable. I mean,
that was crazy.
I mean, first I thought they almost have another safety or inside the 5. Then all of a sudden it gets up to the 20. I'm like, he might get a first down. The next thing you know, he just comes out of the scrum with the ball, and no one was going to catch him.
Oh, man. I don't know what they're playing on the Naughtitron, but they are doing some serious boogieing.
Yeah, I really don't think that was the same guy who.
I was thinking that as he was running down.
Because that's not the punter, right?
He gained weight when he came out of the.
Well, I mean, the punter was the original guy who had it, right? So it wasn't the punter. I mean.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was not.
It looked like the punter, L.J. Cummings, number 15, originally had it, and then he handed off to another player at around the 50-yard line. But
he handed it off, I think. And then the question is, Tim, should it have really been a touchdown or not? Because if he handed it off in front of him, it should have been like
yeah, that's what we couldn't see, obviously, with the pile.
I don't think the refs could see it either.
Squib onside kick.
Lakeland.
Yeah, squib onside kick attempt.
Number 53, the Dreadnots. Philip Sloan, the sophomore linebacker, earning his letter today by recovering that onside kick. Lakeland defense is still pitching a shutout. You know, that was a special teams.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Freak play there.
Jakari West near side, Baker out. Hotchkiss handing off to Davis, who gets hit at the line. A little bit of life breathed into the Bartow team with that crazy touchdown. Coming up on the last minute and a half of the third quarter.
Might put a little pep in their step.
I guess.
Defense will see if they can force a stop and get the ball back to their offense.
It's kind of like, oh, at least we're not shut out. Nice fake, second down 10, play action. Jakari West has a block. Number 76 just threw down a couple guys. Jakari breaking tackles, switching hands with the ball, breaks the 30-yard line.
And there's a flag.
A late flag.
I think this is going to be against Bartow for some extracurricular activities, and we're not talking about the Leo Club either.
Way back where the play started.
Were you a member of a service club at Lakeland?
Yes, Leo.
Me too. I just snuck in a shout out to the Leo Club there.
Yeah. Here comes. Well,
Kung Fu fighting.
He's a little more docile. He only broke one board on that chop.
Yeah, he wasn't quite as demonstrative, but you can still see a little bit of Kung Fu in that. This guy is a piece of work.
He can throw some arms around. He could break a cinder block or two. He's got that in him.
Get it?
Yeah, he does. He's got the rainbow.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, yeah.
It's the rainbow point. It's like the gun points at the ground.
He's going to have sore wrists when the night's over because he really,
like in ref school, they said never point the gun at someone directly. You have to point it at the ground.
Yeah, that's he's definitely a character. Getting back to the football game, that last play, what a nice catch and run there by Jakari West. You can see his speed on that play and why he was somebody that had so much potential before he had the multiple knee injuries. Nice to see him being able to play and contribute as a senior this year.
Davis single set back, gets the left side handoff. A lot of people caught up with him again on that last play. Number 76 made that great block. Hammond really sprung Jakari West. May get one more play off here in the third quarter.
Maybe.
Or not.
I think they realize that they can let the clock run out, so they're just going to wait and not run another play until the fourth quarter begins.
Was that Savannah Collins that I saw down there with our sideline reporter?
No, that's I think it's Emily Dunson.
Oh, Emily, that's Emily, that's right.
I think so, it's Emily. Yeah.
It
Mary
is,
Claire
yeah.
Madden will have the duties of doing the post-game interviews tonight. The reason we did not have a halftime interview down the field or pregame is she had a volleyball tournament tonight, but she came after the tournament.
Let's go ahead and take it to a commercial with the end of the third quarter. Dreadnots lead 32-8. Back here at Bryant Stadium. Awesome. That was pretty cool looking lightning, kind of high in the sky lightning over the crane in the new wing to Lakeland Regional with the flag flying. The lightning just split the flag. That was pretty neat. I know y'all can't see it. I'm just.
As long as it's getting closer, it's neat. If it gets any closer, it may not be so neat.
That's right. 3rd and 5 for the Knots, deep into Barto territory. What's that, you ask? That would be the power package.
3rd and 5.
Let's see if it's hard snap count. Now I knew they were going to try to do that. They're going to try to get it the easy way. Barto didn't bite. And they'll talk about how they want to regroup and come back up to the line. .9:32 Eastern Time here at Bryant Stadium. 11:25 left in the ball game.
We should interview the referee after the game.
Ooh, that would be nice. So where did you get your moves and when did you start your dance classes?
Personal, unsportsmanlike conduct on the webcast.
3rd and 5. It still is the power package, and just waiting patiently. Davis is going to come up short by a hair. Ooh, some hard hit going on in the end zone.
For the most part, Bartow's done a good job of tackling Davis, and he had
Yeah.
a couple nice runs, especially that big 60-yard touchdown, but they've done a pretty good job of wrapping up and getting him on the ground. More so than I would say a lot of teams that we face.
4th down and a wee bit.
To see the Lakeland cheerleaders doing some of their tumbling passes.
Yeah. You kind of get in the line and get to show their stuff.
All right, 4th and 1. See if the Dreadnots can keep this drive alive and get some points.
Power, right side. Allen, touchdown again, his 2nd of the night. How are they not getting even a hand on that big man?
AJ has 2 touchdowns, and now Xavier Allen has 2 touchdowns. And of course, the 5th touchdown was a pass from Hotchkiss to Robinson. And 2 safeties will make it 39-8, assuming Mackenzie McDonald can hammer this extra point through. A 4th down touchdown. Nice job there by the offensive line, opening up a big hole for Xavier Allen. Coach Farkas doing a good job with his charges tonight. They're blocking well, putting up holes for Davis and company. Want to say hi to Mr. and Miss Farkas. I know they watch every week in Richmond, Virginia, and also hi to Mr. and Miss Baylor. Coach Baylor's parents up in the D.C. area. Appreciate your loyal viewership. And while we're at that, I want to say hi to my parents, who I know are watching as well tonight here in Lakeland. How's your dad doing, Tim?
Want to say a quick hi to Mike and Lisa Nichols. Love you guys. Hopefully able to catch us a little bit tonight. Your Dreadnoughts doing a fantastic job here at Bryant Stadium. And well on the way of charting their 4th victory of the season. Fifth, I'm sorry, 5-1 they'll be. 4-1 currently. Oh, they let him go.
Oh, I thought he was in the end zone.
He was in the end zone. Oh, he got around the side, but 2 guys had a beat. That was fun. If you're a defender,
I think he
14.
I think he should have stayed in the end zone. Corey Rowe Jr. may have wished he'd stayed in the end zone after that.
Demarius Jones and number 26 Lorenzo Brown.
That's called laying the lumber.
Yeah, seriously, that was the big hammer.
Just got a text from our good friend Keith DeLoach saying great blocking by the jumbo package tonight. That's a good point. Not only the offensive line, but that jumbo pack, we put the extra offensive line in there. double tight end, and just doing a great job tonight as we've been able to convert these 3rd and shorts and 4th and shorts tonight.
Yeah, we're definitely getting a better push and moving some bodies around the way it's supposed to look. A little bit of a funny delayed
Good tackle there by Avery Edward, one of our impact players. Now he's having a very good game for the Dreadnots.
Didn't fool the knots at all.
Yeah, I'm wondering, do you think that was a design little
I think so.
deception play there by Barto, or maybe it was just the timing was off? I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Well, we thought we might get one of those nail-biter games tonight, Jeff, and that's far from it.
Not what we got, my friend.
But at least it went the right direction. We'll take it as, boy, lining up just to fire it, launch it, and some bumping. But
that could almost have been offensive pass interference, but the refs.
Both players going.
Call that one.
Yeah, both players going for the ball, looking back, which is good. Why they didn't get called either way. Just really almost a Hail Mary by Davin Williams. Trying to hook up on a big pass play. That looked like almost the same pass play on the first play of the game that they had set up. Both were unsuccessful. Williams drops back, nice pass. Number 8, though.
He's running the wrong way.
Yeah, made a move.
That's one of their leading wide receivers, Jeremy Henderson, is trying to get away from that Dreadnought defense, but that's a losing battle tonight as the Dreadnought defense has been dominant once again.
As soon as Henderson spun, he had a guy hit, kind of throw him, and literally went back the other direction.
So as we wait for the Barto punter to come on, you want to hear a crazy stat about last week's game, Tim?
I'd love to. Hit me.
So against the game against Haines City, as you talked about in the pregame show on the stat graphic there, Haines City ran 38 plays for a total of 46 yards. How many plays do you think the Dreadnoughts ran?
I don't know.
Take a guess.
25.
Would it surprise you to know that the Dreadnoughts only ran 18 plays last week, less than half of Haines City?
How about that? Well, look at
lefty.
What in the world?
Wow.
Where'd that come from?
Oh, no, he touched it. You better get it.
You better get it. He's got some time because it was such a good kick, but now he's got some room. Up the middle. Here he goes.
He's going to take it to the house. He's got one guy to beat.
He's got a block. Oh, open field. They catch him at the 25.
They didn't block the punter. It's like his teammate just gave up on it. All he had to do was put a body in the punter, and Devine would have took it to the house and would have been an unbelievable special teams touchdown. Kind of almost matched Barto's a while ago.
Am I seeing, did that punt go 65 yards in the air? It looks like it went 65 yards in the air.
He killed it. Yeah, I cannot believe that Lakeland is like the guy just thought. I guess he thought Devine had it, but
it was such a deep ball, though. I mean, he took his time picking it up, but the whole special teams defense was spread so rapidly. It's just if you took a couple blocks, you had plenty of vision to see open gaps, and he just picked one.
Great punt return by Devine, and I guess maybe the Lakeland guy down here, which I didn't catch his number to be honest. It's almost as if maybe he thought all I have to do is get in his way a little bit, but give the Barto punter credit there. He didn't give up on the play. You know, he got past that block because he didn't really make a block and was able to get Devine down. But if he put a body on the Barto player, then Devine would have pretty much jogged into the end zone. But anyways, yeah, so Lakeland last week, Tim, 18 offensive plays, 312 yards, and 65 points. Where Haines City's 38 plays for 46 yards and no points. That's a crazy stat. That might be a record for points per offensive play. I mean, think about it. It's almost 4 per play because, it's over 3.5, about 3.7 or something points per play. That's insane. normally it would be less than 1 probably, way less than 1 in a typical game. So
Hotchkiss fires it out.
Willie Baker, the homecoming
Baker's got
king.
some room to the outside. Boy, he gets hit hard.
Willie's not a very big kid. He got kind of knocked down pretty violently there.
We have seen our share of peculiar plays tonight, but they've been interesting and fun to watch, so that's been entertaining. The strangest, perhaps, the touchdown by the Barto Yellow Jackets on the botched punt snap weird thing.
Yeah,
we thought we're like, oh, he's maybe going to get the first down, kind of joking, and then boom.
I still think he handed off to the guy. And I bet you it should have been a flag for illegal forward pass.
First down and 10 at the 15. Oh, nice run. Who's that?
That might be
Scamper.
Covington.
Was that Covington?
Put Covington there.
Good little juke in the middle of the
Yeah, I would
interior.
definitely get Davis out there now. You don't want to risk an injury. That is Reggie Covington, the backup tailback, the diminutive senior. Quick is Mr. Covington.
Starting QB Hotchkiss still in. Six-yard pickup on first down, 2nd and 4.
At this point, I don't think you're going to see him run any kind of plays that he could be in danger of getting hurt. Quick handoffs or quick passes.
Drop back. Delayed handoff. Look at that
Covington using his speed right there, but there's flags down.
Nifty little run, but probably won't be rewarded for it.
Let's see what the Kung Fu dancer has to say about that.
Yes.
Holding on the Dreadnots, so that touchdown would be negated, unfortunately. Love hearing that Lakeland High School band. Brings back memories when I was in high school. And we used to come to the games every Friday night. Used to come with my friend Paul Wisda when I was a sophomore and junior, and then my good friend Nathan Carter and I came when I was a senior, and he was the friend who helped me with my cheerleading protection job.
Well, 2nd down and 10. The Knots can pick up a first down inside the 5 at around the 4-yard line. They got some work to do. Fake off, now rolling out. Has some space, time, fires it over. Oh, should have been caught at the 5. Dropped as Hotchkiss bought himself some time scrambling. And
I was just saying that they were not running a play where Hotchkiss could possibly get hurt, but he just barely avoided taking a big hit there. We could definitely give the most entertaining
got to do a new category.
Player of the game would be the referee. No doubt.
Can we get him every week? Roll out. Nice time. Caught, turned around, touchdown. What a nifty little play by Williams. No, it was Jacoby Joyner.
Number 11. Wow, normally Jacoby Joyner normally plays defensive back, cornerback, but he occasionally comes in as a wide receiver. And his first touchdown of the year. Nice catch and then a great yak there. You like the word yak. As he caught the ball, spun to the outside and got in the end zone. He looks pretty natural there at the wide receiver position.
He does.
Maybe
looks like a wide receiver.
Maybe we'll see some more of him as the year goes.
Well, next year, too. He's an 11th grader, so we can see him as one of the...
He's a senior.
Oh, he is.
Number 11.
Bummer.
Number 11.
Come on, give it to us. One more year.
With James Robinson, I don't think they're going to return him to the game with his cramp issues from earlier. So they got Joyner in there at the game.
Running clock.
Second
Running
touchdown
clock.
of the night. Yes, it is. 46-8 now for the Dreadnots.
Get that clock moving. That banana pudding isn't going to stay fresh forever.
You and your nanner pudding.
All right, band, it's about time to crank up some horse. I'm ready. I think they wait till about 4 minutes or something. I would like to wish my wonderful wife a happy birthday on Sunday. I will not give her
October
age.
the 2nd?
Age, yes, October 2nd, because that may not be a good birthday present. No, she's always young and beautiful. Happy birthday, honey. I love you. And I can say anything because I know she's not listening.
I would certainly imagine that Holden's night is done. If you get the ball back, I would imagine to see Devine in there at the quarterback position.
She's not still cramping up.
No, Devine's back in the game. He had that punt return log.
Yeah, he's doing fine. McKenzie's touchback percentage, I just don't remember him being quite that powerful in the beginning of the year. It seemed like he was always kicking it maybe between the 15.
He's had some back and,
yeah, that's true.
Hip,
maybe he's
pain and soreness and some injuries. So
good.
Back injury, but yeah, I think maybe might be getting better health-wise, and it's shown with his kicks tonight.
And of course, he's lighter with that haircut, so
that's right.
More aerodynamic through the ball. There we go. 4 minutes, 30 seconds. I knew it. Breaking out the horse. Under center. Handoff. Timothy Jordan has a gap. Timothy Jordan, watch out. Timothy Jordan off to the races. I don't think they're going to get him. He's got that kind of speed, and he is Gonski. What a nice run. And that is why he's the #1 rusher in Polk County.
Yeah, people are going to look at the stat line tonight and be like, oh, he had a really good game. But basically, he had nothing until 4 minutes to go in the game, and the second team's out there. He got by the first wave of guys, and they were out of position. The safety and everything took a bad pursuit angle, and once they were behind him, they were not going to catch him. Extra point good for Barto. Your new score, 46-15. It's the Dreadnots have this one very well under control. With 3 minutes to go in the ball game. With the running clock, this puppy's almost over.
Voice is going. Coach Bill Castle on your screen. Not quite sure why the never mind. Yeah. The ump looked in the white hat. That's been the stillest he's been all night. He's just looked like a mannequin back there, but he's moving. He's moving now. He's okay. Gotta make sure something wasn't wrong with him back there. He took a little nap. Well, with that last run, Timothy Jordan didn't hurt his stats, weekly stats. That helped him get back up to probably near his normal. Even though, as Jeff said, take his 2 best runs away and it would be a dismal performance. Caught way back at the 6. I'm not sure. It might have been better to just let that one go in the end zone. Does not break the 20. Not sure if they're going to need to snap the ball. They're just going to let the clock run out, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think maybe they might have to take 1 snap, but maybe not.
Last snap of the ball game. It's actually a handoff out to the 25, and that's the game. Your Lakeland High School Dreadnots wrap up their 5th win of the regular season. One blemish on the scorecard. Pretty
against a very good
severe blemish.
Miami Carroll team.
Yeah. But again, all not a bad thing. Is certainly helps the humility. I was hoping the ref would do the quick step off the field, but he's just.
How about the foxtrot?
Foxtrot, anything like that would be good. He's doing the sloth trot.
There's our athletic director, Justin Troller, saying, "Hey, nice job dancing."
Good job. Thank you for that. Can we pay you to come back and be our entertainment?
Maybe they could pay him. Maybe they could pay him to come to like homecoming and entertain the student body. Well, homecoming was last week, but you know, maybe prom or something. Your final score here tonight, Bryant Stadium, Friday Night Football, presented by Champion, Lakeland 46, Barto 15. As Mary Claire Madden is going to attempt a lineup interview with A.J. Davis, as well as, of course, Coach Bill Castle. This is what, his 403rd win, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah. Get up and stretch our legs here.
Guess we can go ahead, Tim, and kick off the Agnini Family Dental postgame show with some of our awards. Tim Conti, what do you think? I think the offensive one is
pretty clear.
easy.
Yeah, it's an easy one. The defense is.
You go ahead with the offense. I'll take the defense.
So please. With a slow start, consistent. 4 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards. Then, kind of a snap of a finger. Boom, 60-plus yard touchdown. And followed up by a short time after one of the best catches we've seen by a
Anybody,
running back
especially
or
running
anybody.
back.
A.J. Davis, as we see the little Thanksgiving time that they just come and say a little quick prayer. And, hey, lucky to be doing this in Polk County. Agnini Dental post-game show. So A.J. Davis is our offensive player of the game.
And well-deserved. On defense, I think you could have, I mean, obviously you could give the award to the whole defensive team.
Sure, that's what I was kind of
basically,
thinking.
they gave up 2 touchdowns tonight. One was a special teams touchdown. The other one was a touchdown by Timothy Jordan against the second teamers with 4 minutes to go in the game. So effectively, they pitched a shutout. But I think the guy who stood out to me now was Avery Edward, the big defensive tackle.
That's where
for
you're
the
gonna
most
go
part,
with.
they really, kept Jordan in check, like we said, to that last, run of the game.
Yeah.
And he also showed some leadership tonight, not taking the bait of, getting a cheap, personal foul or unsportsmanlike conduct, and just did a good job of clogging up the middle and making life difficult for the leading rusher in Polk County, Timothy Jordan.
Yeah, again, if it weren't for a few of those runs, we saw a lot of, I think, overall fantastic, team play on the defense. But I think Avery had just an overall standout performance, and it was fun to watch. I was hoping actually not wanting obviously Barto to score a lot of points, but I kind of wanted to see Jordan let loose and run, so we got to see him go for it on that last.
I think Mary Claire already has her mic on down
Mary
there.
Claire's got her mic on. She's
before I think that's the post-game huddle comments there.
She's ready to roll. I hope they keep it clean.
But I think for special teams, Tim, I think tonight we should give it to, obviously, we could give it to Mackenzie McDonald against. He was very
I was thinking about that, yeah.
good with his kickoffs and his extra points. But tonight, let's give it to Daquan Devine, who had that splendid punt return. And if not for a little bit better blocking by his teammate, he would have probably had a touchdown on that play. So we'll give tonight's special team player of the game to Daquan Devine, the senior Mr. Do-Everything, quarterback, wide receiver, and kick returner.
And even holds for the snaps for Mackenzie McDonald. So he's got a lot to do during the course of the game, and it's well-deserved, I think, and good placement of your special teams player.
So now we're just waiting for the post-game interviews as the Agnini Family Dinner post-game show continues on. A great interview at halftime. I really enjoyed getting to interview both Dennis and Jimmy Frizzell, brothers who won a state championship together 20 years ago. Time flies, Tim.
Yeah, it does. And Frizzell brothers were during that time a big part of Lakeland Dreadnought football. And you just, even like you talking with you earlier, just saying a few names, it's like a certain kind of smell. It just brings back that time, and those seasons all kind of had their own flavor. Even though they were winning, they all kind of had their own feel to them at different groups of players that came through. And certainly that was a good core group with the Frizzell brothers there during that time.
And, of course, Brent Talcott, who's now our kicking coach and the stepfather of Mackenzie McDonald. He was the kicker on those teams back in the mid to late 90s.
Yep. And as we get older, we see that new wave of coming and setting their own little traditions and team character. One thing has been steadfast. It's been Coach Bill Castle, though, has got to see all those classes come and go. So he continues, like you said, to roll on with the wins.
And one thing that was interesting hearing Dennis talk. Jimmy lives in the area still in Orlando, but Dennis lives up in Louisville, kind of like your friend last week, Errol,
yeah.
Who's, first game he probably at Bryant a long time and lives in Seattle. Dennis said this is probably the first time he's been back at Bryant Stadium since Jimmy played. So it's over 15, 16 years ago, 17 years ago. So it's nice for him to come back and be around some of his old classmates and everything.
Yeah, I think so. And we're waiting for that interview. Mary Claire is set. Of course, as Jeff said, I was going to ask her. I mean, she might be a good interviewer herself to ask her how volleyball is going this year.
Well, I know they're doing good. I know they beat Jenkins a couple weeks ago, I think in a 5-set thriller. So you'll have to talk to her one night on air about the
I think that'd be good to have her
volleyball team, sure. Yeah.
During halftime, we get to interview her a little bit. We'll try to set that up for you again. And
maybe that'd be a good one. Since we're playing George Jenkins next week, that might be the perfect week to do that.
There you go. We're already setting
and
it up.
Maybe see if one of her maybe even bring one of her volleyball teammates with her, perhaps.
As spread, look at that, looking at down at the field, everyone's all over the place. Hopefully she'll find her
students,
mark
parents.
there in just a minute.
No, she's looking for AJ. Sometimes I've been down in the field doing interviews too. Sometimes it's hard to find who you're looking for, because sometimes they also start taking their jerseys off. All they have left is like their T-shirts on, the undershirts or whatever, the shoulder pads. So that can be challenging, no doubt, to find the player you're looking for. Coach Cass a little bit easier, but sometimes he can kind of get away as well. Got some cheering going on down there all of a sudden.
Pizza for everybody. Yay!
Free leftover pizza from the concession stand. It's like, where's Waldo? Where's Mary Claire?
She remembers she's doing an interview? No, I know she's just waiting for that perfect moment.
Actually, I think I see AJ down there. He's talking with somebody. She might maybe even a member of the media. I'm not sure who that is, but she's probably waiting patiently over there as I see AJ down there around the 22-yard line. Looks like Coach Baylor's next to him and a couple of fans. Actually, I don't see any media members. So Mary Claire's probably just, she was a very polite. Oh, Blair, Coach Castle's son, Blair Castle, is the quarterback on the 06 state championship team, is here today, and he's down the field with his dad.
It's kind of cool. Hadn't seen Blair in quite a while. I wondered if he likes to come back to a few.
There's Mrs. Castle there.
Games, yeah. Is that Blair right there?
Yeah, I think so. The jeans on and the beard. He's the very accomplished musician. I think he's either working on his master's or doctorate degree.
In harmonica?
Yeah, in music. I don't know about harmonica, but I think it's something like the French horn or saxophone or something along those lines. Yeah.
How about that?
Very accomplished musician. There's one Blair Castle.
It'd be fun to interview him. Get him to bring a little instrumental up to the press box.
Yeah, that would be nice. As I was saying, Mary Claire is a very polite young girl. Sometimes you got to be a little bit pushier when you're a member of the media. You got to get in there and you got to get your interview.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see her finally wrestled Davis down, so she.
So we should have that interview momentarily. Good job there.
Mary Claire finally got him and separated.
We're doing our own investigative reporting. How soon is the interview going to take place?
Yeah, it's going to be.
All right, Mary Claire, go ahead with AJ Davis down on the field.
Hey guys, I'm down here with AJ Davis. AJ, could you tell us a little bit about that touchdown run you had?
At halftime, with the line, I was talking with the line, told them it was 0-0 still. We got to still fight hard. They opened it up for me.
Awesome. Also, could you tell us a little bit about that third down catch you had on the sideline, or that run?
I haven't ran the wheel route in a little minute. He surprised me when he threw it. I felt like I made a good play for the offense.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Very humble AJ Davis. that was definitely a good play.
I'd say so.
You don't have to feel that.
He's going to watch that back and he's going to be like,
to the bank.
Man, that was a better play than I thought it was. But
very humble. And you can see he gave credit to the offensive line on the touchdown run there. Yeah. Very humble young man is AJ Davis.
Mary Claire's almost as tall as AJ. She's got a little
high volleyball
player. Yeah.
AJ has always been, going back to his freshman, one of my favorite players in the Dreadnought team. He's always very nice to talk to on the sideline, after the games and everything. He's got a bright future ahead of him on the next level for sure, no doubt.
I think he could make someone pretty happy and work well into someone's scheme. You could use him a lot of ways. And
yeah, like I said, definitely an offense kind of maybe runs a spread or variation of the spread, and one where they sometimes split their running backs out as well. As you saw tonight, he definitely catch the ball down the field. That kind of offense could be a good fit. I mean, he could also be a good fit in a pro style offense too. No doubt about it.
As Jeff said, we're home against George Jenkins next week, who I'm not sure what their schedule's like, but
anybody for the third running clock in a row?
Could that be another?
Is it fourth now?
Warm-up game possibly.
We've scored 111 points the last 2 games.
Tough task for anyone really to come in here at Bryant Stadium, as you see.
There's Roy Foucault, the
talking to Roy,
veteran Ledger reporter.
Let's see, you got to go get Coach. Emily.
There's Mary Claire. She's
Mary
got
Claire.
Coach Castle now walking over towards the camera, so we should have that interview here pretty soon.
Thanks for joining us again here at Friday Night Live, and go ahead and say our quick thanks. We'll sign off after the interview to the crew up here in the press box.
Of course, Michael Baer, our excellent director, and we had Ryan Reese, who's actually learning that position to be able to fill in for Michael.
Necessary, we're coming back from commercials.
And then we got Nat, and we got Brandon and Corbin and Nathan up here in the camera next to us, and of course, Mr. John Davis on the other camera up here, and Mary Claire Madden, of course, doing a great job on the field. Speaking of Mary Claire, go ahead, Mary, take it away.
I'm down here with Coach Castle. Coach Castle, do you think you could tell us a little bit about what the key to the dominant defense was this evening?
You know, they played relentless and just a great effort out of our defense. You know, all night long, they just kept coming and playing hard, and it wasn't like one guy on the tackle. We had, you know, 3 or 4 there, and, you know, did a great job containing their running back.
Yes, sir. And how do you think that was effective in containing Jordan?
You know, I just got to give Buldini, our defense coordinator, a lot of credit, and you know, our players, they play with a lot of intensity, and you know, it was kind of like payback after last year, so they were ready to play, and they executed their assignments and did a great job in filling their gap controls and keeping them from breaking in the cracks and stuff.
Yes, sir. How do you think that A.J. Davis's playing recently has contributed to the team's success?
AJ's a heck of an athlete, and you know, a real humble athlete that he's going to give you everything he's got. He's you know, he's a versatile player. He made a lot of tough runs and made a lot of that yardage on his own tonight, and also came up with a great catch on the sideline to keep the drive going.
Yes, sir. And lastly, how does this win feel compared to last year?
Well, it feels a heck of a lot better than it did last year. Last year was kind of, you know, we had control of the game, and we just lost it and all. But our team was out to prove a point tonight and played with a lot of intensity. We just got to clean up some issues that we got of getting set at the line of scrimmage in the right formation.
Thank you so much, Coach Castle. Back to you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Mary Claire just kind of put it right there to him. How does this feel compared to last year, Coach? Always
quick
polite, though.
Quick
Yes, sir.
Too.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Quick answer with that one. Obviously feeling a lot better than last year's loss. And some interesting comments there. I'd say, you know, the hard fought initially. Again, Davis was earning everything. I mean, he didn't have a lot of holes and made a couple, you know, fantastic cuts on his own. Not that the offensive line wasn't doing anything. It's just
Barto's very good
tough.
front
Yeah,
seven.
I'd say Barto defense was stingy.
Offensive line played well tonight, but you used against a very good, tough defense for Barto. And to put 4 to 6 points up against them is quite the accomplishment, no doubt about that.
It just shows, I guess, further we were correct in the offensive player of the game there with the humble Davis taking his honors home tonight. And so a beautiful.
He's kind of a lead by example guy, but tonight it sounds like he also spoke up a little bit as a vocal leader and made sure the offensive line knew that the game wasn't over yet. Hey, 0-0, that's our mentality. That's what it has to be. Let's go out there and get some yards and some points. So.
Glad you made it safe to us here in the second quarter.
Me too.
I-4 and
now I have to get back on I-4 to go home. Hopefully,
at least you were awarded with some nice plays here the rest of the game, and that 46-15 win against Barto, a normally stingy, tough team. Again, had that loss last year, so a little bit of avenging that loss certainly. So with that, I'm not sure if you want to do anything else before we kick it off.
We've already
here.
given credit to everybody on the webcast. So for Tim Conti, Jeff Goddard signing off till next Friday night, 7 p.m. the Agnini Family Dental pregame show as Lakeland hosts George Jenkins here at Bryant Stadium. Have a great weekend.
God bless.